Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Irrelevant Podcast. I am Willie, and I am joined once again by. I don't understand why I just call myself Willie. Sorry, I go by like five different things to like a billion different people. Some people call me Will. Some people call me William,
Or
Willie.
Wet Willie.
Not that. Um, I go by a bunch of different names. Also, I'm kind of sick right now.
You're sick.
So
What's wrong, buddy?
I just have like a cold, and just like
Oh,
my nose is stuffy. I have some congestion, coughing a lot. Um, I got a lot of stuff in my nose. Um,
th- thoughts and
yeah.
prayers, buddy. Thoughts and prayers.
Thank you. I'm glad you care so much, Jason. So if my voice sounds awful, that's why, and I apologize for that. So we've got that out of the way. Today, I recommended to Jason. Um, so we are going down the Spanish, like Latin American movie rabbit hole, and I recommended him. Sorry, I recommended him a movie called Sin Nombre from 2009, directed by Cary Fukunaga. Um, yeah, so it's about this Honduran girl who goes with her dad and I believe her brother or her cousin, I forgot who it was, and they try to hitchhike all the way from Honduras and all of Latin America through Mexico to get to the US border. And it's crazy. It's kind of like Mad Max but like the Hispanic version. So, yeah. What'd you think of Sin Nombre?
I thought it was really great. I remember when we were talking about it because a lot of the actors, and I don't know if this is because like I need to look it up, but a lot of the actors that were in this movie were also in the Narcos series too. So I feel like
Yeah.
Narcos just brought like every great Latin actor that they could find because the cast was great.
Oh yeah.
And it took me forever to realize that the main guy, the main gangbanger was I was gonna say Rafi. What the fuck is the guy's name? Rafi?
Rafi.
Rafi? Is it
Rafa. Rafa's his name.
Rafa? Yeah, that was from Narcos Mexico, and he's completely bald, got the tattoos on his face and shit. Like, I did not recognize him, but he plays a bitch in this movie like he does in Narcos. So it's great to see his character development staying the same throughout the Latin cinematic
Yeah.
universe. But
Yeah, but oh, sorry to cut you off, but I really liked his design, like the way they designed his tattoo and his outfit.
yeah,
Like he just looked like that guy he's just like pure evil. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
it's always crazy when because I know like not people like him in real life, but people that kind of have a similar mindset where it's all about la familia, and then they just don't give a fuck about anything.
right, but I mean a lot of people like that's just like it's just how it is down there. It's either
Oh,
like
I'd imagine
right, I mean it's either you go along with it or you're dead.
it's
And
all the
I just
fucking CIA's fault.
right, and like I mean I have no understanding of what it's like to live in an environment like that, and that I mean yeah, I mean, I wouldn't last a day, you know, because I'm just so not used to that. I'm just used to, living in
Comfort.
right, exactly, like in the civilization we live in, where yes, there's sorry, yes, there's crime, there's a bunch of things wrong, but it's like at the end of the day, like I could still walk out, get some groceries, and like I don't have to worry that there's gonna be like a robbery at the grocery store or something like that, like every day, you know.
Yeah, but I
Um,
think there is a difference between because like you look at guys like I mean obviously the high level people like El Chapo and Escobar and all those guys that were able to, do what they do for so long is because they didn't have a psychopathic tendency. They were more business oriented. I
yeah,
mean,
and
obviously
also,
towards the end of
yeah.
their careers, they kind of get that way. But I think that's like because I always think of the same scenario if I was down there. Like, what would I do? And it's just more of an attempt for survival because the main character? What is his name? I forgot.
In Sin Nombre.
Mm-hmm.
Willie was his name. So
Was
he
there?
it was
Oh, what
my
was
name.
his name? Yeah, it
His
was.
his gang
How could
his
I forget?
right. His gang
Um,
name was El Caspar, but
That's what it was. Yeah. So like his game was
yeah.
survival and also probably money because he was
Right,
just
because you
trying
can
to.
you can tell, yeah, like he didn't actually really give a shit that much about the gang. He just was doing it because
Yeah.
he had nothing else to do.
Yeah. He really only loved his girlfriend, and you know, and that was kind of my greater point because the dude that ran the fucking gang, like,
It's
it's not a
so
survival thing for
sad.
him. It's
Like
like
that
it's
that
life.
scene is hard to watch, where he just like tries to rape her and just kills her. That was really hard
Yeah.
to watch.
So that stuff like that's not survival. That's just you getting in your own way. And I know that's a very delicate way to describe a rape scene, but
Right.
it's true. Like
Also, the
I don't know.
the look on his girlfriend's face when he's like, "Hey, I need to show her home," and he's like, "No, I'll show her home. Can I come? No." Like you just saw the look on his girlfriend's face, like,
Yeah.
what is gonna happen? Like he's gonna do some fuck shit to me.
What I don't get though is and obviously this is a movie, right? So I don't know if this is
Right.
how it's like this in real life, but most people are pretty similar when it comes to, intimacy and stuff like that. But she obviously knew that he was doing some gang shit and she purposely wanted to get in the way by going to that meeting in the cemetery that introduced those two in the first place that eventually got her raped and killed. So like she insisted that she kind of get butts in the middle of it. And as a survival instinct, I feel like that would, like, better not to do that. Like you don't
Yeah,
fuck with that
but
kind of shit.
I guess like, do you think that she like really, honest to God, has no idea which like the gang is like? Because she had never been there before. Like, would she have
Well,
reason to think that that would happen? I don't know.
I would like I mean I'm not from there and like I wouldn't even go near that shit. Like I just would expect something bad to immediately happen. You
But
know what I mean? Like I
you
feel
would
like
just
it's more
like go up in
instinctual.
there. You would go there and just be like, Linkin Park, my
Like, yo, muchachos, where's the nearest grocery store? I gotta get some empanadas.
yeah,
Like, no.
no. But yeah, what I really liked, and actually this is like this just made me think of another point about this movie that I really liked is like all the characters. Honestly, you could have made like a solo movie with that character. Like
Yeah.
these were really good characters. Like Syra was really great. I thought Willie was excellent. I would have loved to see like a movie where he's the main character, and also Smiley. He had like I liked his arc where like he's not he just wants so bad to be part of the gang, but they just make fun of him and he has to prove himself. Like everyone
Yeah.
had good arcs. And when oh yeah, spoilers by the way. I think that's just redundant saying that, but
This
may as
movie's fucking
well.
like early 2000s.
Okay, I don't know. You think like average Joe American has like heard of this movie? Probably not.
Only film nerds probably heard of this movie. So they can impress
Yeah,
the Spanish girls they want to fuck.
exactly. Hey, no, I'm just kidding. So
Projection.
right. You mean la proyección?
You just proved my point.
Yeah, la
Anyway,
proyección. Well,
yeah, the cast was phenomenal. I liked the guy that played
oh wait,
her
I was wanting to say something really quick. Do you mind?
oh, go ahead.
Sorry. But what I really liked about the dynamic between the characters, so like Willie doesn't really he doesn't actually have that much of a connection to the individual members of the gang. He's just like kind of the guy who is just there just because he needs something to do, right? He needs money. He needs like a purpose.
Well, it sounded
Because
like he had a bit of respect from what the fuck, the guy that who's the leader? What is his name
well,
again?
yeah,
I
that's what
should
I'm
have.
getting into. Yes, because like
Yeah.
like he doesn't really. You could tell like he's not like everyone's favorite guy. Like he hangs out with Smiley and no one likes Smiley. But like the look on the leader's name is El Mago,
Okay.
which means the wizard. I think that's interesting. So like the look on El Mago's face when Willie kills him, like you really felt that like he actually trusted him, and he just felt betrayed when Willie killed. Like he was like, wait, what? Like he never thought that would happen, and that I thought was really powerful.
That's
You
why I
know?
thought it was surprising, and I remember when we were watching it when they were on the train robbing people on top of it for the money, and
Yeah. Did you
Willie's
think
just
that was
kind of.
gonna happen? Like,
I did. I knew, like, the look on his face, like, I knew he was going to kill him. Like, he was contemplating the consequences and he was going to fucking kill him. And that's why I said that when the wizard was looking at him, I thought that he could tell that he was about to get killed. That's why I thought that face was. But then, like, when he does get killed and that look of surprise, I was like, are you really that surprised? You just, like, raped and murdered his girl, and the dude's, like, staring at you like a creepy psychopath. Like, your
Yeah,
days are limited, buddy.
with a machete.
Yeah, with a fucking neck slice with a machete. It was brutal.
Yeah, but just the look on his face, that was just priceless. When he got
Yeah.
when he got cut with the machete.
Yeah.
Like it just like you really felt like almost bad for a second. Like, and even like this guy is a like Lil Mongo's a terrible person. He's evil. Like you hate him so much, but like when you see his face, you just for a second you feel bad for him.
I
Just
didn't have
because
that reaction. I felt like it was like
I mean it was short, but like you felt for a second like, oh man, this guy like really had this guy he trusted and he was betrayed.
well, he betrayed his trust first.
Well, granted, yes, he did like rape and murder his girlfriend.
That's why like that scene wasn't so like that was like okay, that's bound to happen. Like he's gonna find out like as soon as that happened, and like I was thinking about it, he's gonna try find a way to kill him now because that's just how it goes, revenge and whatnot. But
I don't know. I just
the
thought his reaction was like he wasn't angry when he was just shocked and like just he just was without like he didn't have anything to say like he was like so you know it's like when Scar killed Mufasa. Like Mufasa was just like so like he didn't believe what he had just seen and heard.
yeah.
I just think it's kind of it's nuanced.
I don't know. I think it's
it's
more of an
interesting.
ego thing because they tout the brotherhood and the family and all that. So you never think that when you do something awful to one of your brothers that they're gonna not do anything back to you. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
but I mean that was never mentioned in there.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like I just think like that they didn't. They have those themes, right, of like La Familia and like the brotherhood, but it's not like in your face and like cheesy, like with all the Italian stuff, like the family,
No, no, no.
like that.
No. It wasn't. I'm not saying it was cheesy in the movie. It was like that's definitely the underarching
Oh, I
theme of
got
the
you.
entire thing. Especially like the scene when they all found out he was dead and they were crying. Like,
Yeah, no, that was interesting.
yeah. So I
Um,
mean, obviously that theme was pretty heavy, but not right in your face. But I mean, you can guess. Like that's why people are in a gang for reasons because they have no other choice, or it's just they got roped into somebody that they know or another family member or whatever the fucking case may be.
yeah,
But that's the
it.
thing about the cast. Like they really made it seem like it was super realistic. Like there's nothing that I watched in that movie that I've been like that could never happen. Like that's
Oh
how crazy it
yeah,
was.
exactly. Like I mean, it really, yeah, like you really, it felt raw, and like I was actually engaged and all the stuff, and just thinking like, man, like that actually, like, really does happen in the world, you know?
Yeah. And the one thing that I liked about this
What's up, guy?
movie that I think is like the direct opposite of how every single movie is made these days is I'm starting to grow really tired of the fast paced like cut scene or not cut scenes, like jumping from scene to scene super quick
Yeah, like
or
there's
everything has to
no
happen at a really
rest.
fast pace.
Exactly. There's no
So
rest. There's no levity. There's no like, hey, how about we actually develop the characters? It's just nope. We got to
yeah,
go action, and it's like the action is always like awful, and it's like just quick cut,
yeah.
like shake. You can't even understand what's happening.
It's meant to keep your attention every second. Like they don't want people looking on their phone waiting for the next exciting scene. Like
Yeah,
I
exactly.
hate how things are paced now. And sometimes it can get kind of overbearing, like Quentin Tarantino stuff. Sometimes he drags the scene out for too long, but a happy medium is where I think this movie is.
Well,
But I
I
like
think,
the
sorry,
go ahead.
I think that Tarantino puts enough stuff in his slow scenes to like keep me interested. Like he'll put something in there, I'm like, ooh, that's cool. Or
Yeah,
he'll like slowly bring the camera in, and it's like dollying, like close, like focusing in on the character. I like how he does all those kind of things.
yeah. I think it's just because most people these days aren't really writers. Like they're just rehashing older stories as reboots, or they're really focusing on the CGI or the special effects or the actual just you're trying to see your favorite actor play themselves in a movie. So it's like there's not really interesting dialogue in most modern movies. So I feel like if you're gonna have those kind of scenes, you actually have to write something that develops, like storytelling, like how you should tell a fucking story if you didn't have makeup and fucking green
Right.
screens if you're reading it. But yeah, I like the pacing of this movie, and I liked one of the characters that I really liked was the guy that played the girl's dad,
Yeah.
the new girl that Willie falls in love with. Because he reminded me of he also looks like a bunch of people that I fucking know. Um, he just has that old Mexican dude look. But like one of those people that just knows what they have to do, where they need to go, and like that just constantly works hard.
Yeah,
Carries
probably
that kind of spirit.
he probably does roofing in Manassas.
Yeah, probably
I need
does
to
look like
work.
a roofer.
He's like, I need to work tomorrow, man.
But it was cool because in the Narcos Mexico, he plays like he plays kind of like an impatient, rash kind of guy. Like his lines are kind of funny, so it's
Oh
interesting to
yeah,
see him in a
that's
completely
true.
different role. So
Yeah,
he's more
you could
reserved and
see
he's more protective in this one. He knows like who he
exactly.
needs
Yeah,
to stay away from and where he needs to go and all that.
yeah, it's cool to show his range. Um,
Yeah.
what did you think of Syra, the main character?
I thought she's a good character, and that's why I thought it was really funny when they were in the car and he was like, "You should be scared of me." She's like, "I'm not scared." I was just thinking like every like 14-year-old is like, "Dude, I gotta get a girl like that, man. Ride or die."
Yeah, I know. Like you were saying that.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
I mean, that's. I
also,
mean, if you think about every
sorry.
like fantasy that you could think about for like, oh, I want to date a girl, it's like that. You know what I mean? She kind of pops into my head.
Oh, trust me, I've had those.
Oh, I'm sure you have. That's all. That's why you wanted to learn Spanish.
Well, that wasn't the only reason.
It was
Um,
probably the introductory reason.
I'll
You're
put
like,
the
you know what? I gotta
no.
find other things to make to make this more
That
sense.
that was okay. I swear to you that was not the starting reason.
You watch this movie, you're like, I can't get around this speaking English.
Wait, what?
You watch the movie, you're like, I can't get this speaking English.
Oh,
I gotta fucking branch out.
oh. I
Um,
mean, I watched this like long into my Spanish speaking journey.
no, I'm just busting your huevos, bro. But
Oh, oh.
yeah,
So
I
you do know
thought she
Spanish?
played a
Okay.
lovely. What? No, I don't fucking know Spanish.
You said huevos. That means balls.
I know, or eggs. Did you know that?
Yes,
Huh? It's
I
a
I
double meaning word.
I did know
Huh? Did
that.
you know that?
Yep.
Fuck. But yeah, no,
um.
I thought she was a great character.
Yeah, she's a
I'm trying
good.
to.
She's like the actual way to write a good female character.
Yeah,
Because a lot of like people when they're writing female characters, they're like, oh, we need to make her like this strong, like powerful, like independent woman who like doesn't need a man, and she's super powerful, and it's like why do you want a woman to do a man's job? Like I don't understand why people are so obsessed with that. It's like why don't you want
well,
women to do things that men can't and be like womanly?
it's
You
not
know?
even that because like I've watched movies with like especially action movies where like they have badass female characters, but I think it's the fact that they
I'm
write
not
every
saying that
single
like
woman like that now.
yeah.
Like that's just what they have to be. They have to be well rounded in every aspect of athleticism, intelligence, skills. Like they just have to be the overpowering video game character.
I'm not
Um,
saying like you can't have like the badass woman in some stories, but like yeah, exactly like you're saying it's the fact that like every story now it's always like yeah, I'm just a badass woman. I'm gonna punch that man right in the face.
Yeah, again, it's just the sensationalism to everybody wants a representation of what they are not going to be able to do when they grow up. But if you watch this movie and buy our product, then you will be able to think you can do it. That's kind of the thing. And I think some actresses or actors or however you want to describe them, they're getting tired of trying to take these one-dimensional roles. Like I can't remember who it was. There's some um, actress where she was like, anytime I read a script and it says strong female lead, I just automatically roll my eyes.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I mean, hey, sorry, my throat is killing me. Yeah, but Syra was actually a strong female character, even though she made the stupid decision to leave her dad and be with Willie. That was like the stupidest thing in the movie. Which I guess,
Yeah.
granted, it made it more interesting. I'm not saying
Well,
the
she
movie.
probably would have died anyway if you really think about it, because those two died.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have known that.
No, I'm
It,
saying if she was with them, she would have died with them.
no, no, right, but she didn't know. Like we know that having watched it, but like if I was in that situation, I would totally just stay with my dad.
Oh yeah, I would not leave my family for some random girl I wanted to fuck in a country I'm not familiar with. Like I wouldn't just do that.
Right. Granted that guy did literally save her life. So
Yeah.
that was. I mean, like I can see how she's like thinks she like owes him something.
Oh, that's
Like
true because she was about to get fucking. I forgot about that on the
she was
train.
gonna. She was probably gonna get raped.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I changed my mind. Yeah, that's totally a decision I would have made then.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you mean go
I
with?
totally forgot about that.
You mean go and like leave your dad and just go with that dude? I would have just stayed with my dad.
What do you think she saw besides like obviously like when someone saves your life that kind of skews your perspective, but like through like it didn't seem like I mean she was pretty aware of his situation and he kind of told her like I'm a dead man. I have all these people coming after me. Like this is certain death. I had my girl that I love got killed. Like I don't have any future fucking plans. I'm a ghost walking.
Right, and
So
also he was like, yeah, like, I'm not who you think I am. Like I'm not a good person. Like I've literally screwed up my every aspect of my life. I guess she probably thought like anyone can be redeemed. Maybe
yeah,
that was her thought process. And like
and for
she
people
just like saw something in him. Like he can be saved. I don't know.
Yeah, and for people listening at home, like when we talk about it, it sounds like that's like every movie. Like, I don't care what you do, I want to be with you. Like, I will fucking get through it. Like, that's obviously a popular cliche, but the way that they portrayed it in the movie, it was a little bit different. Like, it wasn't. How do I describe it? Like, there wasn't because like most of the time it's like they're trying to pin it as like a romance thing. It didn't. It
It
wasn't
didn't
really
really,
heavy on
yeah.
that,
I mean, it
and
was
like
kind
it's
of yeah. Because sorry, when I was watching this movie for the first time, I thought it was just gonna devolve into some like cheesy Hispanic like heartthrob romance, and I was like, oh
yeah.
man, not
I
this.
mean,
But then
he fucking dies anyway, so she's stranded by herself in America. The whole premise is they're trying to get to the border so they can get to America to find a better life, obviously. And I can imagine like going, fucking running from gangs and having the dude that you just met that you really want to start a life with get killed, and then you end up in fucking border town, Texas, near a Walmart. Like fucking
he's
kill
going,
me.
you go in Walmart, spelled Gualmart, Walmart.
Like this is
Oh,
where
my
you're.
throat.
And then she was trying to go. She had family in New
Oh, I
Jersey,
can't
so she
laugh
was
that
looking
hardcore.
forward to go to New Jersey.
Yeah, but then. Ugh. I'd actually be interested in seeing like what happens to her next. That'd be really
Yeah,
cool. I'd love to
they
see a
should have made a
second movie.
sequel.
Maybe they will. I don't know. Probably
They
not at this
really,
point since it's literally I don't know, 20 years later.
yeah.
But
But I think the thing that because it wasn't so heavy on the romantic thing, it was more of like you know that feeling when you talk to somebody and they're just for some reason interesting to you, kind of thing. It's like you just really want to see where your life goes, just being in that same room or
right, and I
just trying to
guess
put yourself in that position.
I'm not no pun intended, but he had like just that mystery quality to him, I guess, to her. She was probably like, yeah, this guy just he's interesting to me, you know?
I think it's his facial expressions. He had a very contemplative, stern face.
He did, yes.
So, but yeah,
Um
I thought overall everything was really well done, especially for a movie to be made in the early 2000s, which is the fucking era of god awful cheesy movies and awful editing and awful effects. So,
it's weird though because I've showed you Amores Perros, and I've showed you City of God, and those movies are fucking fantastic, and those are from the same era. Like I just think it's
yeah.
it's so hit or miss. You got like some of the best movies ever, like Lord of the Rings or and stuff like that, but then you put on the side of that like just some awful like early 2000s superhero movie.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is like they weren't designed to be easy cash grab fucking like blockbuster hits. Like I feel
Well,
like
yeah, I mean it was a
they
different
actually had people
country
talented
cinema,
working on it because they wanted to
right?
make their break this they wanted to be their breakthrough film. I think is what
Right.
this that's the aura that it had or that all of those movies had actually.
Yeah. Um yeah, I really liked the soundtrack too, obviously. I mean, it was just,
Yeah, soundtrack was good.
yeah, these movies are always going to have good soundtracks. Yeah. Um, did you like any of like the other gang members?
um I'm trying to remember
There
the.
was El Sol, who was this. He was kind of like second in command, and he took over after Lil Mago died.
Oh yeah, yeah. He. I
I
didn't
kind of
really get
liked him.
anything.
I kind of liked him. Well, actually, I didn't see it, but I read in an article that there was a deleted scene where you saw him living a normal life, like he was just taking care of his wife and kids, and you just see how like these
Really?
people, yeah, and like you just see how like a lot of these gang members, like they're normal people, like they're just so desensitized to just killing people like every day. It just
Yeah.
but other than that, like they're essentially okay, and this is for the movie's logic, not my logic. Like they're at the end of the day, they're still good people. They just have like this effed up side to them because of the stuff that they just like they just took an oath to be with the gang and they have to do it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's so ingrained into the culture. So, and especially with the corruption of their own government, the corruption of our government, and just the misinformation and just straight up fabrication of everything, resulting in anything drug related or government related is not like, it's like who, like no sane person would want to be a part of like both sides of that. So it's like I don't want to be an elected official, and I don't want to be a fucking drug smuggler or a gang leader, but
Who would you rather
I don't
be?
think it depends on. I probably still would go to elected official. I wouldn't die unless I'm whistleblowing for something that's super important. But I feel like
Yeah,
it's less of a dangerous job. Well, obviously, I mean, yeah, it is a less dangerous job, but I'd fucking be
yeah, I guess it
miserable.
is. Yeah,
But
that would
yeah,
suck.
this problem's
Um,
not going away anytime soon. It's gonna be here forever.
yeah, forever, Mike.
But it's sad. But I mean, that's the reason why people are coming here in the first place, only to find out like, hey, it's shitty here too. But at least it's you
Hey,
might
at
not
least like
die.
right, but or it's like, hey, it's shitty here too, but hey, I actually like get paid for what I do. That's cool.
Yeah,
I can actually like afford a house
yeah.
as opposed to we have to live all in the gang house, which sucks.
So yeah, your life is gonna be way better, but you're not gonna be prepared for all the stupid bullshit you're gonna have to endure.
Right. It's like all like the like what's like some yeah, like the gas prices or other like stupid shit that comes here and then like
Well, not even that. It's like we have gangs here too. We have people that get murdered for that
yeah,
shit.
but
Or
like
like, I mean, yeah, stuff is expensive too.
the gangs here are nothing compared to like the gangs in like Nicaragua or Honduras.
Well, it's not as out in the open because obviously our police are not. I mean, not yet probably, but they're not gonna just let motherfuckers like roam territories. But I'm
Oh,
sure there's some
yeah.
parts in the states where that happens in like inner cities where it's like cops only been fucking going to certain areas probably,
Oh yeah, I mean
especially now with
like
all
there's corrupt
the
people
political
everywhere.
tension.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I
but
mean also I mean it's just dangerous. Like they just don't want
like
to
where
risk
I
their
live,
lives, but
I mean, if you think about it, like where we live, if we go, step up to the wrong people, like not even a mile from us, like we would probably could get killed.
yeah, I guess I never really thought about that.
Dude, there's I've read stories of people in around this fucking area of the greater Washington metro area where you can find yourself headless, rolled up in a carpet.
Yeah, you told me about, and it was at the Food Lion parking lot, which is the grocery store. Everybody, by the way, that I get my stuff from, right across the street from my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, so it can fucking happen anywhere. It doesn't, I don't
Oh
know. It's
yeah, I
just,
mean,
yeah, it's not
right.
as likely here and
There's
for
bad
now.
people everywhere.
For fucking now, it's not as bad.
Right, but I
But
think what's really fucked up about those countries is that the police, can just like they're just completely corrupt. They can be paid off by anybody, and like they just, I don't want to be in a country where where I can't trust the law enforcement.
it's literally everywhere. Like
But like in like America and like Canada, I still trust the police. Like if I report a problem, they're gonna get it done. Obviously, like like I said, there's corrupt people everywhere, but I still have like a respect and trust for the police force.
I think for me, it's more of individual people because I know people that are cops, and I know people that do a bunch of other stuff that work for like fire department or
Oh yeah,
Coast
like I know
Guard or
cops
military or
and
whatever,
yeah,
right? So
exactly.
and it's the same thing. It's just like you can't really change the whole system because you're one dude. So you either have to like just get stuck with it or go with it until you lose your moral compass or you just get out. So it's like a lot of times like most of the good people are gone because they can't handle like there's nowhere Like you're in an ethical dilemma every fucking day of your life, and you just can't handle it. Or
Yeah.
if you have any shred of courage, you want to try to fix it, but it's so fucking trickled down from the top. There's nowhere you can even go. Like it's just such a political. There's just so much red tape everywhere.
Yeah, I know what you could do. You can go to Honduras.
The murder capital of the world, or is that not the case anymore?
Um, Country wise, I think it was Honduras, but now it's. Or no, it was El Salvador, but now it's Honduras.
Yeah.
It's the murder and sorry, and I believe sexual assault capital of the world.
Jesus.
City wise, that's different. I think the most dangerous city in the world. Well, it was Medellin for a while, like in the '90s and the '80s, but
Yeah.
oh, that got a lot better. It's probably like Caracas in Venezuela or
Yeah,
Rio.
Venezuela's struggling.
Oh man, I'm so sorry for them.
And can you
Well,
take
actually,
three
no.
guesses why? Ding, ding, ding.
I mean,
Government.
actually, no. I don't feel that bad for them because they fucking elected that guy. But at the same
Yeah, but
time,
what are you supposed to do? Because like we can like I say this to like
what do
even
you
the
mean, what
people
are you
that have
supposed to
like
do? You're supposed
degrees
to
and
not
huh?
elect that guy,
But
and
no,
he's
but the,
totally a
what
fucking fraud. And he literally
what choice
makes.
do you really have though? Like it's if they're that corrupt, like you think it was even because like we barely I
Well,
don't
look
even
at
think we have a free
Colombia.
election in this country.
Yeah, but look at Colombia. They were like awful. Like they literally were in the state of Venezuela. Like they had people living in trash compounds, but then they actually like they got a lot better after Pablo Escobar left, and they actually were on the global scale.
That's why the governments are so effective because they use fear and fucking very good indoctrination. So you can have people with fucking PhDs in this country that'll go vote. Like if you have a PhD and you live in America and you vote, you're a fucking moron. Like it's just the fact. Like you're highly intelligent in whatever specialized field that you're in, but you still fell for the lie that is government security and free election and democracy. Or
I
if
am
you
of
want
the
to go on the other
opinion.
route of
Sorry.
communism or total totalitarianism or whatever authoritative form of government, like you either have no option or you're brainwashed to believe that whatever bullshit candidate can get you out of your shitty situation when it's just not the case.
Well, yeah, and that's what happened in Venezuela. I mean, like
Exactly.
Chavez was such a good speaker. Like when you look at his stuff, he's really good at like arousing people and getting people to want free shit and all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And a
It's
lot
all. I
of
mean,
yeah, but Colombia did a lot better because they rejected that stuff, and obviously they just elected like a socialist again. But that's beside the point. As I wanted to say, I am still of the opinion that if you do not own property, you should not have the right to vote.
I feel like that's the majority of the world.
Well,
The
right,
majority of the
but
world probably doesn't own property everywhere in every country.
like there's people in America who own property.
Do you think there's more people in America that own property than that rent property?
No, I'm not saying there's. It's not a matter of quantity. That wasn't what I
You
was
just said if you
saying.
don't own property, then you shouldn't vote. That's like the majority of most places everywhere.
Right. And you were literally the person who said we shouldn't have the right to vote anyways because it doesn't matter. So,
No, I'm just saying, like, if you buy into the belief that voting and trusting your government is a positive, then you're a fucking idiot. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't really matter if you vote or not. What matters
yeah.
if you actually try to do direct causes and effects and solve problems within your own community. And then if everybody tries to do that widespread, you won't need one singular entity to try to control and regulate and solve every single problem on a local level. Like, thousands of miles of millions of people doesn't work under one
Well,
guy.
yeah,
And I
and that's
know
what I'm
that's a
saying
very
because like
simplistic
most
generalization, but
yeah, but you don't see what I'm saying because like you said most people don't own property, but like the people that these laws and stuff that who they affect the most are those people, right? So like obviously like you said, if it like for most people, it really doesn't make that much of a difference anyways, because your vote's probably either just discarded or who knows what they do with it. But
I'm confused because are you saying that people like when you say like people that don't own property shouldn't vote because it doesn't affect them? Like what?
that's part of it. I mean, why do you think the founding fathers made it that way? Like they weren't doing it to be mean. Like they were doing it because like that's what the people like that's what the laws like that's who they affected the most. So it made sense. Like why would like just Joe Schmo farmer dude have any say in this?
because it made sense in their time.
Well,
We have
actually, no.
millions of
Sorry,
people.
I misspoke. That guy probably did own property.
But I say I think more people own property back then than not. Even like lower
Not
class workers
necessarily.
still own.
Yeah, but even
I
if
mean,
you
I
own
don't.
property, there's only one vote per household, which I still 100% agree that that should be the case. Like your household had to agree on one vote, which I am 100% for that.
All right, so let's pretend in a world where the government wasn't corrupt and you actually had the freedom of
That's
choice
never
to
gonna
pick
happen.
one. Well, I
But
know that's what I'm saying. I'm I'm being optimistic here, but my
right,
point
but
is
that's why he
like
said
let's say that
pretend.
it is a
But
perfect scenario, right? So it's like you actually like the working class is most people that rent and can't afford a home, and that's like the entire backbone of this country. People like I don't know rail workers. That's a big fucking thing right now. That'll crush our entire infrastructure if those people go on strike, and so they're trying to fucking work this shit out. But let's say that those rail workers actually were trying to vote for a candidate that would make it easier for their lives, make them get paid a little bit more, have a little bit more vacation, speed up fucking efficiency and production, right? So most of those guys, I would guess, probably don't own property, and I don't know anything. I don't know how much rail workers getting paid, but I'm sure if the majority of them are striking, it's not good. So I can imagine very few of those people
yeah,
own property, right?
but like you
So
said,
what is it?
we have to pretend that this is the case because you know that whoever's promising any of this bullshit is not going to do it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. In a perfect scenario world where you actually your voting choices had actual consequences, and
But
depending
that's
on if
never
you
going to
pick like a
happen.
candidate, I understand that. But what I'm
So
saying
then,
is
like,
like
why
it
does this
doesn't
matter though? If it doesn't
because it
matter,
doesn't matter if you own property or not in this current political fucking bullshit we have to deal with. It doesn't mean anything. It's voting is for people that don't actually do good things but want to say that they're a good person and that they make a difference in their society, or people that donate money to a charity they have no fucking clue that about what they actually spend it on. Like it's meant to be a distraction tool for the government to make people believe that they're actually contributing and that they have a voice when they fucking don't, and we're just along for whatever dick is going to be not shoved up our hardest in our ass. Like
yeah. So
that's
then, why would you just involve everybody in this? If
because it's their
especially like
illusion. They have to make
yeah, but
people feel like
especially
they're actually like
kids.
part of it.
I just the fact that I was able to vote in the presidential election, like I wish I could have taken it back. Like,
You voted in a blue state. It didn't matter anyway, Will.
oh right, but it, well,
So yeah, it literally does not matter whether you do or not. It's inconsequential.
right, but you should have to own property
Why?
because you have assets. You have control over a bunch of other things that if some random dude who works at McDonald's and has an apartment, he has no say in this. Nothing is going to happen to him.
I agree with you if you own land that the city government or the state government really wants to build some bullshit data center or some fucking townhomes. Like if you
Right,
have that kind
exactly.
of
So that's
property, then yes, you have
consequential to an
leverage. But if you're
extent.
like an
Yeah.
if you're an average homeowner, but that's like even less of a percentage of the people that own property and the people that own like valuable property, that number just keeps getting smaller. So you're limiting your voting power to a very small minority of people while the majority of people don't get to participate. That's not a better system.
Then what is a better system? Because I
A
just don't really
functioning
see what
fucking
you. That's
if
not
we
gonna
had an
happen
actual
though.
I know it's not going to happen. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter if people that own property just vote, because even in an idealistic society, that would not even be the best way to run it. So whether property owners or fucking people that rent a studio apartment, it doesn't matter. Their votes are not going to if all right, let's say you have a guy that owns a mansion and he votes Republican, and then you have a dude that's in a fucking apartment and he votes Republican. If they're not in a state that's red, it doesn't fucking matter. Even
I'm
on the
I'm
local level.
I'm gonna have to cut it here at this conversation. I just don't feel like
Why?
talk. I just don't feel like talking this anymore. I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
just don't really. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. You proved your point. I didn't really prove my point. I mean, I still am firm in my belief that if you don't own property, you shouldn't have the right to vote. But
I'm just curious as to why if it doesn't actually matter.
I mean, I explain why it does matter because these people have assets. These people can actually, like, quote unquote, do things. Whereas these people that I'm not, I'm obviously I'm not putting into a category, like a whole group of people, but like a lot of people who just work at McDonald's and don't really do anything. Like they're not really contributing to society much. Why should they have a say of who should be elected to run this country or run
Okay,
any office?
so not objectively, but it's just the principle of it.
Essentially, yeah, that's a good way to
Okay,
put it.
I see. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make a total difference. But just if you act like if it, okay, so like you wanted people to contribute more to society, and that's who you think just morally they should have a voice in government. But if they, yeah, I mean I agree with you on that sentiment. Like if you're gonna complain and contribute nothing, you know, voting doesn't really like regardless if you vote, you're just a leech on society in general. Like fuck voting. Like you should,
Oh,
try to
right.
like run things and operate things.
And my other thing is like, because if you are given the right to vote, like with no repercussions, you could literally be, 18, or some people even want to be 16. It's ridiculous that like you in any situation, if you were 18 years old, you can vote. Like with no, like you're not surrendering anything. Like anyone can, like I said, literally anyone can vote, and you have no say in anything. Like it doesn't even give you like a reason to want to own property. You know, I'm not saying that like the reason you should own property is because it'll give you the right to vote. Obviously, the reason you want property is because it literally gives you a place that's yours, even though it technically isn't. But it's
Well,
essentially like along those lines.
I think most people want to own property. It's just so goddamn expensive they can't. But I mean, if you're asking me, like, in an ideal world, like, I think you should, like, for voting, I don't think it should matter whether you own or not. I think you should, like, it's like, with like a driver's license or anything you have to do. So I think you have to probably should take an aptitude test or at least some literacy about, about the certain aspects of our government that you understand how it works. So you're like that to me, like, that's what voting should be, is you should be understanding and you should be able to prove that before you vote, just like you should prove that you know how to fucking drive before you go on the road and kill somebody. So if you're asking me what we should do, it should be an aptitude based
Yeah.
system.
Okay. So I guess we have. So I guess in other words, we have kind of arrived at an ultimatum. Where like, yeah, exactly. Like you should have to have like you should have to take a test that's of some sorry, of some value in order to be able to have the right to vote. Instead of just I am 18, I am living and breathing, therefore I have the right to vote.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, because I don't think voting does anything, it doesn't fucking matter who votes. I don't care if a 4-year old votes, it doesn't fucking affect my day. But yeah, if it actually was working how it's supposed to be worked, I think you should, like, I don't think I should be able to vote. I have a very mainstream, basic understanding of our system of government. I don't think I'm qualified to elect somebody that can solve greater problems. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I would have to study to do it. I just don't think I'm qualified to vote
Well,
if we're
right. It's
talking
like I
about like
mean,
in actual terms.
yeah, right. Exactly. Um, it's because you're not a rich white man who owns property. That's why.
Some of those people are really fucking dumb, so it's like, or they're voting for their interests.
I was also using that phrase as like a joke.
No, I know, but now that I think about it, like sometimes the people that own property. I mean, like I said, if they're a fucking homeowner, whatever. But if they own a bunch of valuable land or have a bunch of businesses or a bunch of real estate or have tactical reasons for getting in bed with politicians or not wanting others to be elected, so I could see. I mean, that happens now, regardless. But one
Yep.
can dream.
Is democracy really worth it though? Like after all this bullshit we deal with, is it really worth it?
It's not a real democracy. Like
Telling you, man. Yeah, because it's proof that it doesn't work. So let's do monarchy.
it pretty much is. It's like we're not living in a we don't really have a voice in our government. Like it pretty
Yeah,
much is like
that
we're
sucks.
ruled by a ruling class. It's not a true democracy. Like I don't know. I think we're in one. Like this is the effect of people that have power doing whatever the fuck they want and giving people the
Right,
illusion like they're free.
right. Like I'd rather live by a strong king who is an honorable man and like essentially forces things upon us. Like, no, you have to like follow these things. Like I would rather that, and we have an ordered society where we share a common something rather than just like you said, have all these people in in all these ugly looking suits and like just working in like we don't even need to get into it. Sorry, my coughing is terrible.
Well, I think no matter how you slice it, it's just we're just bound to self-destruct. I think just as mammals with brains that are capable of higher thought, we're just doomed for self-destruction no matter what we decide. You ever have that I can't remember if it's like mainly been in philosophy classes, but have you ever had that debate with like are people inherently good or inherently evil and stuff like that? Or if we
Um,
make the choice, we'd always make the wrong choices. Obviously, you have a religious context to it, but just have you ever had that debate in any sort of class?
oh yeah, I mean in school, obviously, I went to religious school my whole life, but we always study the teachings of the old Western philosophers. um, because a lot of what they teach is very Christian. Sure, we talked about that. Human beings are inherently good beings. It's just, we're not perfect. We're inherently good in the sense that we're made in the image and likeness of God, but because of the fall, right? I'm sorry, with Adam and Eve and the entrance of original sin into humanity, we have like that draw to sin that's easier than draw to the good.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I do think religion gets right is that people are just designed to because like everything you want to do is bad. You ever really stop that? Like there's very few people that like everything that they desire, is healthy for them, puts them on the right track. It's not going to damage their body. Like even people that leave like a healthy lifestyle, they have at least one thing they wish that they could do that would
Oh
just
yeah,
totally ruin their
yeah,
life.
yeah.
Which is
Right.
interesting to think about until like it's just the people that once you have more money, it gets easier to do those.
Yeah.
It gets more
Um.
exhilarating because you can't do them. I don't know. That's another philosophical question, but going
Right.
back to this movie. Um,
Oh shit! I was looking at some way to get back to it, but okay, you did it, man.
well,
Oh,
well,
and
I'm tying it. I'm actually tying it in. I'm actually tying
wait,
it
hold
in.
on. I apologize for refusing to go on with the vote. That was not very. That was not a good move.
I was like, why are you so upset about this?
I don't know. Part of it was just the cough. I don't know. I'm just not doing good right now.
It's okay, but I'm here for you.
All right. Also, like my argumentation was not very good.
No, I knew you were onto something. I just was trying to get at what you were saying. But yeah, but
Yeah. So you
overall
you put
point.
you restated it in better words than I did.
Well, I'm not trying to make you look bad, buddy.
Well, no, I'm just kidding. Well, you already did. You fucking. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I just generally I'm always generally interested in what people are having to say because I don't express things the way I want to. So it's like I know people have like a thing that they're thinking about.
Yeah.
Like it's not just everybody just thinks that we're limited to what we say, and it's like our brains are much smarter than our fucking mouths. Anyway,
Yeah.
what I was gonna say, tying it back to the movie, it just shows like those human moments of people that are escaping that sort of corruptions because like you don't imagine that either Willie or the fucking I can't remember the girl's name to save my life. What is her name?
Tyra.
Syra. Neither of those two would be in some sort of elected official or I mean obviously he was in a gang, but he was realizing like I have an actual opportunity to fucking escape this even though he deep down knew that he was going to die. I mean, that was
Yeah.
the one thing
Oh
that was
yeah.
clouding his optimism. So, like, if this girl was eventually going to save him and bring him to America, but he was like, my days are numbered, so this is why I can't look forward to anything but my
Right.
death.
But I exactly. But I liked how he was like, you know what? I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna make sure that she doesn't. Like I just, so he did
Yeah.
on. I think he did really redeem himself in the end.
No, he definitely had a great redemption arc, and I mean, you could tell from like the beginning of the movie, he just had that look where it's like he doesn't want to do this, he's forced to, or he just hates himself.
Yeah. My dad made me.
My dad, maybe. Um, But yeah, no, I mean that's why the majority of people escape that shit. Like they don't want to be a part of the corruption. They don't want to be a part of the violence and the death and just that culture of just
Destruction.
yeah. So obviously that's
Well,
why people come here in the first place.
oh God. Okay,
God,
sorry.
you're dying, bro.
I am. I can't laugh that hard. Ugh. Okay, that was good. Right. Sorry. This podcast has gone down significantly because of this.
Are you sure you have a
Um,
cold? It's not like you have a fucking Sinus infection or some shit.
I don't know, something. Um,
Well,
yeah, but yeah, I just think all the arcs were really well done, and I like because Smiley he got what he got what he wanted, you know, but and like there wasn't really that because like I was expecting for him to have like that like regret scene, like after he does it and like he's with the gang, he's like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I like how they just left it. He's like, nope, I did what I have to do. I'm part of the gang. Like I got what I
yeah,
wanted.
it was pride instead of misery.
Right. But I just think it would have been so much worse if he had like that regret scene. It's like it
And
was like, yep, I got my tattoos. Like I killed my best friend. I'm part of the gang.
I always thought it was really funny when they captured one of the rival gang members and put him in that dog cage, and then they made what I thought was a nightstick that he was gonna make Smiley, this little kid, beat up this fucking gang member, turned out to be a homemade gun, and made him shoot him.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then he was like, "The first is always awful," and then he just gave him a kiss.
Yeah, I know. He's like,
What
you're
the
like,
fuck?
and I like how they always call each other homie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, that
like
was funny. Yeah, as homie this, homie that.
we're a family of like a million brothers, homie, and we'll take
Oh
care of you.
god.
um, yeah.
On the
I
flip
mean,
side, the gangs that don't fucking kill the civilians to gain territory, that are actually like, helping the people fucking survive poverty while the government does nothing, or the local,
yeah.
whatever you want to call them, EMT, police, fire department does nothing. So there are some. I
You
mean,
mean the
obviously it's
policia?
complicated.
The
Yeah,
policia.
it's complicated when you have the gang members are the actual power, so they're the ones that actually have to do communal shit like distributing food or help build things.
I know
Have to
it's
fund
so
shit.
funny. Yeah, exactly. Like they have to like make the communities do the fundraisers and the community events.
Yeah.
Hey, they're actually the ones that go to church.
They're all religious, and that's why I thought it was funny because I didn't know that you weren't supposed to wear the rosary around your neck, but everyone does it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, like I said, they don't really know. So there is a certain sense of like invincible culpability to it. Um,
I mean, obviously the intent is not to be disrespectful, so
no, right, and
I mean you can
also
murder somebody, but God, you know, I gotta go to church.
right, well, right, like the intent is obviously not to be disrespectful, but there is there like to a degree, right? Like the church has talked about this how when like when the church was going reaching out to the world and like evangelizing like the whole world, like there's a bunch of arguments of like what can be kept within a culture and what cannot, right? So like it's essentially like Christianity is a universal religion, so we baptize your culture, and so you can there's a like you can retain all the things you have, right? But like you've just completed it by making it Christian. So as long as you're not doing things that are like intrinsically evil, like human sacrifice, then you can keep doing it. So that's why like a lot of Hispanics still wear like the Native American clothes, or they like to do like they eat these certain foods or something like that, or and like and etc.
Well, I think in certain, I mean, obviously in today's world, most people of different cultures can be very. I mean, you can wear whatever traditional garb, like something like white people even wear that shit sometimes. Like I think these days everything is all blended, and that's just because of everybody being global. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of it was a lot of assimilation too. Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff that they made you leave behind in your culture because obviously it's a direct conflict with whatever teachings. And I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. Even
there's
though I
certain
brought it up,
things
but
there's certain things that are bound to go away, but like it like touches the culture, and therefore like if you look at Japanese Christians, right, like they're still Japanese, they're still ethnically Japanese. They like the other 99% of the country, they're still like countrymen with those people. But like their churches, if you look at them, like they don't have pews, right, but like they sit down in the crisscross applesauce style, and I think that's really cool. So you can see how like Christianity touches different cultures in that aspect. Obviously,
no,
like what?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, yeah, I understand the concept of know your audience. It's like that's why you can sell a movie, about LGBTQ stuff, but you can't sell it in China
Or Russia.
or Russia. So yeah,
Or
no, yeah,
Saudi
no,
Arabia.
yeah.
Or
Oh,
like
dude, the
literally
fucking
anywhere in Africa.
the World Cup shit. Have you been following all that nonsense,
Wait, give me 1 second. I need to get some water.
folks? You would not believe the amount of just mental hoop jumping and fucking hypocrisy for this goddamn most popular game on the planet. It's crazy. They picked the worst spot in all of the world to host a soccer game.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing about that. Yeah, because like there's a whole controversy
Dude.
apparently about having alcohol there because it's in Qatar.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't
Right.
have alcohol. Obviously, like, you can't wear the fucking little pride shit. And then, like,
Well,
people
I
were
agree with
saying, like,
that, but I think you should have beer.
I know you do. You can drink, you just can't fuck dudes. But
Exactly.
what
Exactly.
what people
Thank you,
obviously
Jason. Thank you for
please don't clip
saying
me. I'm gonna
whatever.
murder you.
No, I'm not.
Um, what was I gonna say? But obviously, people knows about FIFA and the corruption and like how you build these massive ass stadiums and then in these underdeveloped communities and they just extort the land and the money. Blah 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 blah. But there's reports of a lot of people
Oh, okay.
dying in this one. Like, and I thought this was gonna get swept under the rug. Like, no, even I can't tell if it was FIFA or whoever runs the guitar shit were basically like, yeah, 500 people died in the building of the stadium, and which probably means that the numbers are more because that's how it goes in that part of the world. Also, most people don't realize that like indentured servitude is massively popular. So you have like Indians and Filipinos all over the Middle East fucking doing, probably Africa too, probably just like doing labor for these companies that get them there. They hold their passports, pay them
Oh
dick.
yeah.
So it's
Slavery
like,
still like most people like forget that slavery still exists in the world.
yeah, I mean, obviously that's not even counting like illegal human trafficking, but it's like, legal slavery, like literal indentured servitude, to fucking jumping through
Right, it's
loopholes to make
terrible.
sure
Yeah,
that they're
exactly.
fucking stayed to you. Like, it's crazy.
Right, or like
But
the children in China that work in sweatshops. Like, I mean, we don't like it's terrible.
yeah, I don't want to hear anybody say anything about, I support any progressive humanitarian ideology and they go fucking to a soccer game or they play soccer. Like,
Those
you're a
people
double
can
fucking hypocrite.
kiss my ass more than like any group of people ever. I cannot stand those people from the burning passions of my heart. I cannot stand those people.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, and I haven't been, I didn't, I saw a headline, I didn't click on it, so I'm your average Facebook user here. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure there's a couple people that were protesting that they weren't allowed to wear whatever, headband or whatever, couldn't talk about certain things, and they were protesting it, and I think after they're just like, fuck it, I guess we'll still play or still have our contracts. So they're threatening to get their contracts pulled. So I feel like it was a bunch of just sensationalist smoke that they blew and then just continued to play or something. Maybe that didn't happen, but I feel like a lot of people just pretend to be that way.
Um, I think the whole Russia being banned, that's a bunch of bullshit.
From the World Cup.
Yeah. Like guys who like
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
it's bad, but I'm like, guys, do you really think there's like no other countries in the world who have like declared war on another country? Like look at the Middle East. Like why are none of them banned? Like
I think it's
seriously.
because it's happening in our lifetime, which is why, I mean, if we're being fair, we shouldn't be in the World Cup either. Like, we've done our fair share of fucking
Exactly.
around, and so if you're
Exactly.
gonna
So
ban
like
Russia, might as well ban us too.
right, like you may as well ban everybody. Like
Yeah,
literally. You may as
I'm.
well ban every single country. I think that
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. And all,
yeah. I
and
mean,
like
who would play? Like, who would fucking play?
right, exactly. Like how could we even yeah,
There'd be no games.
exactly. There would be no games. Yeah, so that's why I think Russia being banned is a bunch of nonsense.
Are they even good anyway? Like, are they even
I
stiff
don't know.
competition?
I really don't know. I don't really keep that
That's
much
one way
up
to
with it, but
eliminate your opponent. Just make him start a war in some other fucking small ass bullshit country.
yeah, we don't have to play him
We
anymore.
don't have to play them now. So fuck you, Russia. We're gonna lose
Disqualified.
against some other Scandinavian country that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that whole thing is just, I mean, I don't care in general. Like, I'll watch soccer. I'm not gonna stand on a fucking high horse. Like, I buy stuff from, Amazon. I fucking, I don't have an iPhone, but I don't know.
Why
Obviously,
buy stuff from Amazon? Like it's convenient. Like
yeah. and
like
and I don't really care. Like I don't like buy stupid shit online. Like I'm actually buying stuff that I need. Like so, regardless if I find it in person, I won't buy it online. I don't exclusively shop online. I actually like going out and looking for stuff. So I very rarely buy online, and I very
what's
rarely
so
buy from
nice
Amazon.
though is like with
Yeah,
Amazon, you can just think of almost anything and like they'd probably have it.
yeah, yeah. But people are really such hypocrites for calling out these massive conglomerates of either companies or countries, because it's like you're in it, motherfucker. All you
Yeah.
can do is just, do your part locally. And if you see bullshit happen that you can actually help and prevent, then do that as opposed to bitching about stuff you can't control.
Yeah, when we were in Alexandria to we went to some like I think it was like an Episcopalian church. They were doing a Bach concert. There was a violinist and a guy playing the harpsichord. It was really good. But of course, when we were driving through that neighborhood, we saw a Ukrainian flag on like every house. And my dad goes, maybe we should just get a Russian flag and put it on our house just to like make people mad.
What is the deal? Because like when this first started, like every like because it's like watching all this bullshit, like both like Democrats and Republicans like hated this shit, and then Zelensky kind of showed his hand, and then both people were like, this dude's kind of fucking insane for all the demands that he's making, and probably also corrupt government that he wants to run. So it's like we kind
He's
of showed our
he is
hand too
a
early with support.
Exactly. He is a kleptocrat. He runs a kleptocratic state.
Did you ever hear the shit where it's like the people were? I don't know if it's. I mean, it might be somewhat true, but obviously, there's different people that fucking run shit. So not all of them are gonna be, shining
Yeah.
examples. But I mean, a lot of people were saying that a lot of people in the Ukrainian government were just neo Nazis or had some sort of
Yeah,
some
I
sort of
mean,
ideology like that or something. I've heard that going around, but
yeah,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
be surprised. I mean, look at what they
But
did to the Jews. But um yeah,
but
but like
yeah,
what I can't stand is people who have that like black and white, like Russia is 100% evil, Ukraine is 100% good, like everything that Russia does is bad. So therefore everything Ukraine does is like 100% good. Zelensky is like 100% good. He could do no wrong. Like, oh man.
and I mean, Russia and China, they're a big fucking problem. Like, don't even get it twisted. Like, you can, like, there's stuff to criticize all three of our superpowers for. And you know what? If there was some
Well,
shadow James Bond villain that took Biden, Putin, Zelensky, and Xi Jinping and put them all on a stake, I'd be all for it. Like, I could give a shit. Blindly supporting one country versus another, but like, like hospitals are getting bombed, like civilians dying, kids are dying. Like, I mean, that's
I
just the
mean, yeah,
nature of
I'm
our
not
world.
right. I'm not saying that that's like not good, but like what I can't stand is like the postmodern opinion of like the we don't do that anymore. Like that's wrong, and it's like
No,
yeah,
bitch.
but like
We do this in
right,
the
but that
shadows. It still goes.
right, but it's like that always. That's just like it's inevitable. Like it's always gonna happen. That's why we always need to be ready for that shit because it could come to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but
It's
what do you
gonna
think
come.
about my dad's idea of putting a Russian flag out just to make people mad?
I don't think it would make people mad. Like, I don't think people would look at that. I feel like if you had a Trump flag and a Russian flag, then people are like, okay, that makes sense. But like, people would
No,
probably
but
just think that you're Russian. I don't know.
No, but like a lot of no, but the other thing, like, because like if they ask us, like, are you Russian? No. Okay. Why do you have a Ukraine flag? Are you Ukrainian? No. Like it's like that would be our point, because like they have no say in this. They're not ethnically Ukrainian. They're not ancestrally Ukrainian like I am. So it's like, why do you like you have no say in this? I'm not
I
saying
think if
I
they
even
found
really
out
have a
why you
say,
did it,
but
it would be kind of. I feel like if they found out why you did it, it'd be kind of like a sign of disrespect. Like, obviously, like, you don't have to support the Russian government or the Ukrainian government. You can understand that it's just a shitty thing that's happening. So it's like, if you're just like, oh, people that are complaining about Ukraine, I'm going to support Russia. Like, I feel like that's just more of a disrespect
yeah, but
than a
that's the
political
goal.
statement.
That's the goal, because I'm just
No, I
shitting on these
know.
people and proving them that like they're being stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, there are real people that have like lost their lives to this shit, especially the people that are Ukrainian that live in this country that aren't part of the government that have family members that have died. So I
Oh
feel like
yeah,
that would be the genuine reaction of like just trolling liberals versus like, disrespecting people that are going through a war zone.
yeah. I mean, you're talking to one of those guys.
What, you're going through a war zone?
No, but the family over there, some of them, I don't know if they got out.
You have family in Ukraine?
I did, yeah. I don't know what they're doing right now, but
They're probably getting the fuck out.
well, no, they probably did. I mean, they're distant family. I don't know them, but like they're there. They are. I am related to them.
So are they Jewish in the Ukraine?
They are. They are Ukrainian Jews. I have some like, so I, sorry. So I have some. I have some Israeli Jewish family. I have some Bukhari Jewish family, and some yeah, some Ukrainian Jewish family.
I mean, obviously it's a bigger country, and I don't know if the obviously like parts near Kiev and all that shit are occupied. I don't even know what the situation is now. Like, are they occupied? Did
I
they lose or
I don't
what the fuck
trust
is happening?
anything that the media is saying. Like
Yeah.
I'm like this is all fake.
Well, have you talked to your family that's been there? Have you touched base?
No, I've never met them in my life.
Oh, so okay, I got it. I didn't know if you
Soon,
if
I have a like my grandpa's second cousin or something like that. She lives in the U.S. And she was from Ukraine. Um, we're gonna meet her soon. Like I think she's gonna have dinner with us soon. But she's gonna be like the first one that I've met face to face because I've only talked to her on like a Skype call.
well, you know what you should do when she comes to
What?
dinner? Put a Russian flag on the table.
I really don't think she'd care. Like she's not. She doesn't really care about being Ukrainian.
I'm sure she cares about Russia fucking up her life and having to move.
Well, no, she had moved here before that. I mean, Ukraine has been bad for quite a bit of
Oh, I
time.
imagine that whole fucking region is just corrupt.
Sorry, she didn't leave because of that. Like I said, she had left long before that.
Just pursuing better things.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think two people will be pissed off unless like I don't know.
yeah.
I feel
But
like I mean, what is the sentiment on the cuz like I know like left people that are on the left are always like everything is Russian hacking or Russian disinformation and then
yeah, the
Republicans
Russian
just
hacking.
yeah, and then
That was
Republicans
funny.
sometimes hate Putin, sometimes love him to prove a point against Democrats. I don't fucking know. Like
Well, I mean,
I don't fucking know.
I kind of have that sentiment. I like how he makes left wing people angry. I think it's funny. I mean,
Who,
obviously
Putin?
he's yes, because he's like very much against sodomy and abortion and like a bunch of these different things, and he's like very adamant on like we need to be Christian because we're Europeans and like we need to protect our culture. And I know you can just say to me, "Will, like he's just saying that to like just to make people like get like follow him and just." And I'm like, okay, that doesn't mean he's wrong. And it's like I don't care if he's being a hypocrite. He's telling the truth.
Well, regardless if he's telling the truth or not, it's an idea that a lot of people can get behind, and if I mean, it
Yeah,
fuels
exactly.
meaningless conversations with people because like it's not anything they can ever. And that's kind of my point. Is like it doesn't matter what it is, like you have no impact. So it's like like people can argue about what is the greatest ethno state or whatever rhetoric you want to follow, but at the end of the day, like you're not gonna make a difference
Well,
in the
Putin's
grand
making a
scheme of
difference.
life. Hmm?
Whether it's good or bad, he's still making a difference.
What is?
Putin and like all these people, I mean, like they're making
Oh
a
yeah, no, the
difference.
dude's fucking powerful. I'm talking about people that believe him or not.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean obviously, I don't want to live in Russia. Like I don't want to. I'm not saying like I want to bow down to Putin.
What about like I've only ever heard you say like what should you not like about him?
I mean he's literally a tyrant, and like he no, but like he actively supports like these dictators like Assad or like Chavez, and where like they're literally evil.
Yeah.
And it's like there's just like man, like what are you doing? And also he has been hypocritical about being Christian. Like he literally has like I don't even know how many wives and like, so on and so forth.
It's probably to appease his Muslim brotherhood.
I
It's
don't
like
even know.
communism can be fun.
Oh, like to appease the like Assad and all stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, fucking. Like you said, you got to know your audience. You tell the Christians that you got to be, you can't have gay people, but you got to tell the Muslims that you can't have gay people, and you can still have multiple wives under my
Right.
rule.
And I mean, like I said, he's a
I honestly
well,
believe that if gay people didn't hate or if Muslims didn't hate gay people, he wouldn't give a shit.
no, he definitely would.
Truly,
No, he would.
because what would be the political reason? Well, I guess I mean,
Well, okay, then explain to me why it's literally why is it illegal in Russia to like and not like it's essentially illegal to be gay in Russia.
why
Why
is
would
it
he make
illegal to
that the
criticize
case?
the government? Why is it illegal to get killed for whistleblowing? Why is it not legal to investigate into any sort of relationships between business and government? Like,
Yeah, but
because
that's
they're a
in
fucking totalitarian
our
country.
yes, exactly. But that's in our democratic. Yeah, but even in our democratic country where we like elect to make those decisions, like that's the case. But like he can literally make the decision: do I want gay people or no gay people? And he chooses no gay people. So it probably means something.
And like the grand scheme of because he believes it, or because it's a tactical advantage, or some sort of advantage, or just the fact that he
Because
can
he,
flex his muscle to have a sense of control over the land,
I think it's
or
because he
fear.
believes it. I mean, really.
I wonder.
I mean, even if he's doesn't believe it and he's just doing it to be on China and Syria's side, then like okay, he made the right decision because I agree with their stance on the matter just as much, you know.
Well, that's what the thing I was curious about is obviously because it doesn't help the case, because if the majority of people didn't, and I I assume in Russia that's kind of the sentiment, like most people are anti-gay, and the people that are probably fleeing, or the people that are not are probably fleeing, or just scared to say anything. So it just has an overall sense of unification, and that's like that's the biggest, to me, that's the biggest advantage, is using your iron fist to make people seem like they're all on the same page and that you're a strong, productive, unified country, and not even just with gay people, just in general. So like even if you had like a majority dissent, they have too much consequences to where you can't even, it's just erased, because that's just what governments do. They just control and use fear and punishment for any
Yep.
dissent, because it's against its self interests.
Yep.
But the pipeline shit, that was crazy. You think that was them? Do you think they blew up their own pipeline to ensure rage?
I didn't even like get into that. I didn't even feel like it. I
They probably
really
blew that
don't
shit
know.
up.
Who, Russia or Ukraine?
Probably Russia. They probably blow up their own shit to try to like spark like to say it's just like blaming the main man. You gotta
I
fucking
really
start this war.
I really have no idea.
I can't think of a reason for. I mean, obviously, if you're like I don't know, a fucking eco terrorist, why you'd blow up a pipeline, especially it's for resources for your own country.
I guess. Yeah.
But
But
I
yeah,
don't
like
know.
you said, that whole region is just it's so corrupt. It's like a meme.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like I'm pretty sure every country in Eastern Europe has at some point been like a communist regime.
Well, almost all of them in the USSR, right?
Yeah,
Damn, that was an
but
aggressive
then
one.
sorry, yeah, but a lot of them just became like independent, like so like communist regimes after that. You know, like Belarus, I'm sure is I think it's still totalitarian. Like it's a totalitarian regime. Like I'm
Yeah,
like we wouldn't even be allowed to go there.
yeah.
That
There's been a couple genocides in that region that people kind of like to sweep under the rug. Specifically, countries with allies. Wink, wink.
oh the wait which one?
I don't know, the one that's right next to Greece. I know that's not in
Oh,
Eastern Europe, but
that's in Eastern Europe. The Armenian
Is Turkey
genocide.
considered Eastern Europe?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Armenia.
Well, yeah, oh yeah. Let's not forget about Armenia, our System of a Down's favorite country.
That's what I was saying. That was literally the victim of the genocide,
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
which they
I
still which they still deny.
Well, of course, they still deny it, but most people know about the Armenian one. Not that many people know about the Turkish one, or the Turkish multiple ones, like in Cyprus. And also, I think they also fund a lot of the shit from the. Aren't they? Wait, aren't they the ones that did the Armenian shit? What's the country that did the Armenian genocide? Is that
That
not
is
Turkey?
that is Turkey. Yes.
Okay, it is Turkey. So yeah, I'm on the same
Yeah.
page. This country is a fucking. I thought it was two different countries. When I thought I was like, nope, they did Cyprus and they did Armenia. So yeah,
Cyprus, I'm pretty sure it's half Greek, half Turkish.
yeah. Did they ever tell you
Um,
why it's half Turkish?
I mean, they fought about over that land for long periods of time.
I know it's more complicated than what I'm trying to make it seem. I understand.
Yes. But right
Um,
now, I don't know who controls it. I'm pretty sure it's Greek, but I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. I just know that they. I mean, it's just like with every fucking thing. Innocent people die. Everybody hates each other. Blah 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 blah. But I mean, they've
Yeah, I
done it
think
to.
the Greek Turkish like ethno battle is like one of the that's like one of the biggest ones of like all time.
Yeah, and no one knows about it.
I know, but and like it should be more known. Like they hate each other,
To death, literally.
literally to death.
Dude, I knew somebody, and I was having a conversation with her. She was like, I don't even care about 9/11 and the Holocaust because no one ever fucking talks about my people.
Oh, you said she was Armenian?
No, she was from Cyprus.
Oh, from Cyprus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, like Greek Cyprus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, no, like no one even who even talks about Greece? Like talk about a fall from grace. They were like the cradle of Western civilization and the most powerful like empires at one point in the world, and now like they're broke and like no one gives a shit.
Well, people know about their economic collapse, but I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's
also like, do you know like any Greek people? Like what are they doing? I have no idea. Like what are they producing? Nothing.
they scream each other and own restaurants. That's all I know.
Yeah. My Big Fat Greek Wedding. That is something great that they produced. I love that
They just
movie
seem
so
like
much.
Italians, but like a weirder, slightly less annoying version of Italians.
They're just like the slightly more Eastern Orthodox versions of Italians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Then
Greece definitely fell from grace for sure.
well, Greece ain't got no grace.
Nope.
Yeah.
Slap that on a
Oh,
fucking white building.
yeah. You were asking me about. Sorry. Oh man, if Turkey is considered Eastern Europe, there's a bunch of debate about this. A lot of people think that um either Bulgaria or the western part of Turkey is like the farthest Eastern European you could possibly go.
Hmm.
Because
Because then you're just getting
Georgia,
into Asia.
right? Because um, sorry, Turkey. Like Istanbul, that is more Western, right? Not just because of the Greek influence, but also because that's where like Turkey's government is, and like Turkey's part of NATO, which is which is like a European organization and everything, right? But then like the farther east you get into Turkey, you get closer to Western Asia and the Middle East, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like other countries that are even further east than that are still technically more Western than Turkey is, like Georgia, like they're considered Middle Eastern just because of the geography. Even though
Yeah.
culturally, like Georgia is, I don't know. Yeah, Georgia's technically more Western than Turkey is. Sorry, just because they're Christian, but they're pretty Middle Eastern. Like, oh, have you ever heard their language?
Yes.
It is bizarre, and it's like their alphabet is really weird.
They're strange people. I'm not gonna lie. And
Yeah,
it's
they're
interesting that they're part of NATO, and then we don't hear all the shit that they do.
yeah. They're an ethno-linguistic isolate.
That's a great word. Would you say ethno-linguistic isolate? That's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
thank you. I love the term ethno-linguistic. I think it's so cool.
What does that even
It
mean? I feel like every linguist has some sort of ethnicity attached to it. Like,
right, but
it
not
seems redundant.
necessarily. But it's essentially like you share not only a linguistic connection, but an ethnic connection.
I see.
So essentially, like like the Germanics are an ethno-linguistic group in the sense that the Slavs are, or like the Romantics are an ethno-linguistic group, or the Semitic peoples are an ethno-linguistic group.
I see.
It's just like they come from a common origin, and they just share like a more or less similar cultural framework. Um,
That changes from region to region.
right. So like the English, right? So the English are still technically they're ethno-linguistically Germanic. So are like the Germans and the Dutch and the Swedish and the Danish, um,
You know, the
because there
Germanic
is
languages.
right exactly. So that's what ethno-linguistic means. Ethnos is the Greek word meaning tribe or people.
It sucks that we have a lot of our words originate from Greek and they're just kind of fade into obscurity unless you want to go to a wedding or a honeymoon.
What you mean, like the Greek words are, or the German words? Because the German words are the ones that are obsolete.
No, the Greek ones is what I'm saying. How we get
The Greek
them.
words we use all the time.
That's my whole point. Like that's why I just said like we have a lot of our origin from Greek, and then they've kind of just fallen into obsolescence.
I mean, it's not really our origin. It was just we just adopted it.
I meant adopt, I guess, but I'm just saying like how we have a lot of Greek sounding words, and then we just don't give a fuck about Greek anymore.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like, yeah, Greece, you suck.
Yeah,
But
but
I was gonna
fucking
say
yeah.
something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I said Georgia was an ethno-linguistic isolate. So like, there's no one that's related to them ethnically or linguistically. They are like alone. No one is like them. They're totally unique.
Interesting. Have you heard their
Yeah,
language?
I have. It's strange because it's
They're all
like
strange.
right, but it's I'm not saying yeah, like I'm not saying that in a bad way. I know you don't. I know you know that, but like
I
a lot
take
of
full
people might
offense. Like,
right,
look at these big nose, weird looking fairy tale ass bitches. Their
right.
strange gobble gobble language.
I mean, if you look at Georgian people, they're like Armenians, where it's like they look like they should be Muslim, but they're Christian, and like
Yeah.
they're kind of Middle Eastern, but they're kind of European.
How
But then they're
dare you make fun
right.
of the origin of white people in the Caucasus Mountains?
Yeah, that is the origin of white people. That's so weird to think about.
I don't know. The more I grow older, I don't know how fucking like we're already reworking history about the Bering Strait and how people got to America and how that's not even probably true. So fucking I don't know like the white people coming from the Caucasus Mountains. I don't know.
Wait, so then are like Georgians supposed to be like the original white people then?
No, because people have moved around and fought wars and took over new lands. So I doubt if the original people from there are the people that are there now. Just like the Egyptians, like the original Egyptians are nowhere probably to be found.
Oh no,
And
the original
fucking
Egyptians we know for a fact aren't there, but like a lot of
yeah.
like people in Egypt now still have Egyptian DNA.
Oh, I'm
Like
sure. Everybody
yeah,
probably has DNA from that region from somewhere in Africa or Central
yeah, but
Asia.
a lot of them still like say that they're Egyptian. Like people in Iran still say they're Persian.
It's because they're dumb.
What? I have no problem with someone in
No.
Iran saying they're Persian.
No, I don't give a shit either. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you want to claim you're part of a fallen empire that no longer exists and has your values? Cool, man. I don't give a fuck.
Right. So do you share the same sentiment about white Americans who say they're Anglo-Saxon?
Dude, if you're from America, I fucking we've talked about this at nauseum. Like, I don't
I
give a.
know. I was just trying to provoke you.
Oh, you did. That got right under my skin.
Yeah. I can't.
Basically, if you're American, shut up. That's my point.
I can't laugh that hard.
Me too. I'm American.
Yeah. Shut up, you dumb American. Yeah. America is just like the only culture that's like you just lose all credibility. You
It just
know?
makes me cringe when even you say America as a culture. It makes me shudder for some reason.
Because it's like
We're such a
what
unenlightened, dumb fucking people here.
what defines America? Seriously. Like
Indulgence,
literally.
consumption, ideology, and rhetoric.
Yeah.
Belief in something
Oh,
greater than you can ever imagine
well that's
or
everybody.
realistically carry out.
I need to show you this video. It's like North America versus South America. It's so great.
Just like a culture meme war.
It's like yeah, it's like the Chad versus Virgin thing, where it's like
Stupid.
South America is like the Chad, like he's super based, and then North America is like the simp. He's like super ugly. He's like, "Rah, rah, rah." I mean, hey, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. For the people like to go live somewhere else, I like the fucking community that I've built. I've done things to make it be proud of where I'm from. You can go fucking watch your bullshit TV shows and do nothing, and claim to be
What?
proud to be from a place that you had no contribution to.
Right. What I actually like about America is that is like the state identity. You know,
It depends.
it's
It
honestly
depends.
more that. Like a lot of people think of themselves more as like, oh, I'm from California, or like, oh, I'm from New York, or something like that. You know, I think
Or
there's a lot
city or neighborhood too.
right because I think that bring like especially in America that brings a lot because America is so big, right? It's there's literally 12 different countries within this country, right? So,
There's more than 12,
well,
for
right,
sure.
exactly. I was just giving an estimate because it's
Yeah.
like, what do I share in common with a guy who lives in Washington? Other than that, we some kind of sort of speak the same language. That's that's it, really. So, like, it's honestly like a bunch of different. The states are essentially like all these different, you know, cultures essentially. Um, because like I said, America's so big. Like I mean, yes, there is technically kind of a framework and like a through line, but not really.
You know what would be kind of interesting is, and this is made possible with the internet. Well, not made possible, but made easier. Is
Sounds like some
especially
like sponsorship, like a made possible by the internet.
made possible by hating your fucking own place of birth and then wanting to find something else and explore.
Yeah.
Um, but no, like what I think was interesting is like you'll especially talking to people from across the world online or from a different state, and it's the people that you are very similar to or have very similar ideals, or like you immediately click because you act the same. So like you get a bunch of people around the world that all like act the same or think like you, and then they put you in one region, like whatever you can pick a plot of land, whatever country, whatever state. We'll move everybody around that all likes each other and all thinks the same way.
I wonder why that's how God made the universe.
You said you wonder why that's how it's made.
No, I was saying like I wonder like that's how God made the world essentially. Like
What
with like
people that think?
yeah, like with tribes and everything.
No, I'm not saying tribes. I'm saying like the people that are in a specific tribe, but they're ones like they're the outcasts. Like they don't like think like the rest of the tribe, so they go and they match up with people that like objectively think like them, not because they were told to think something. They just naturally have the same thought process as one another. Then
Yeah,
they put those people together. That's what
and they
I'm saying.
probably died.
They probably die. You didn't think they were
They
more
did.
efficient?
I mean, no, I think they probably died because they left the tribe.
Oh, yeah, I'm not talking like realistically that way. I'm just saying that'd be interesting, like if it just, snap of the wrist and then flick of the finger and then it just happened immediately. We're just in a place with a bunch of people that like spiritually on a like fucking telekinetic level are the same as us.
Yeah, you can't just
And then we
roll
all
with the
kill each
pack,
other.
bro. You can't just roll with the pack, bro. You got to be a lone wolf.
Yeah. Then you can kill each other. So like once you're with your own kind, like truly, then you can kill other people. Because then
Right,
I
and
think
we're
it
all
would
just
be at least be fair.
right, and we're all just lone wolves because no one has like everyone's with their own kind, quote unquote, because we're all like self-centered, and then we just start killing each other because
All
we're
the
all with
lone
our own
wolves are
people.
like all the lone wolves are in a plot of land. They're all like 100 feet apart.
Yeah, that's like honestly, I kind of want to like I should write something about that. That sounds like a great like utopian like dystopian kind of like novel.
Yeah, go ahead, steal my idea. You're welcome.
Yeah, all it is. What I came up with the whole. It's a bunch of lone wolves, and then hey, if you invest money in this to make for the pay for all of like the shit we need to buy,
I'm
you'll
not
get the
being a
shit.
shareholder for your shitty book, Will.
Yes, you will be a shareholder for my shitty book.
I'll support your nightclub whenever you release that one.
Oh, that's coming out.
Is it?
It
If you're
is.
actually doing this, I'm super excited. Like for real.
You actually like want to go?
Dude. I would be that guy. Like I
Yeah.
know the fucking owner.
I know this guy, and I'll
He
just
won't
like
let me in on specific times, but he knows me.
I'll just pretend like I don't speak English, like I only speak Spanish.
Dude, that would be fucking hilarious. I'm like, hey, wait. You just look like gay.
I was like, ¿Qué este güey aquí? ¿Qué está haciendo? No lo
Like,
conozco. And he's like,
guys, I swear he speaks English. Like, come on.
you're like, Will,
Come
come
on, buddy.
on. And I'm just like you just try to get me to break.
Yeah. Dude, that would be fucking hilarious.
Right.
Oh, fuck.
Imagine that. It's like I'm trying to like it's like this it's like a sitcom scenario. Like I'm trying to impress this girl that I invited to the club, and she thinks that like I only speak Spanish, and then you're just trying to get me to break,
Do you
and I
think you could
act the whole
convince
time.
Do you think you could
Huh?
convince an actual native speaker that you're not from America and that you're actually from some sort of Spanish speaking country? Do you think you could do it?
Oh, I've done that multiple times.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I could do that. Oh, I would fucking love it. I love being just the anonymity of being whoever the fuck I want to be, and people just be like, "Wow, that's so cool. You're part Parmesan. That's awesome."
You're part Sinanese.
You're part Senegalese. That's cool, man. What tribe are you from? It's only the one
Yeah,
tribe, really.
yeah. Boy, you're from like the farthest northwestern island of the Philippines, bro.
Where'd you learn how to speak English? Indians.
Right, exactly.
They took me on their boat because Americans
Yep.
wanted to pay $100 to make me pray to God before we shot him with arrows.
Yep. Oh man.
But
Oh yeah, I've done that multiple times. I mean, I don't do it really anymore, just because it's like you're deceiving somebody. Like that's not like, and also like you're lying. It's like it's not something that's okay to do.
it's such a white lie, though. Like it's
Yeah,
not something that
but
has a real
like
consequence, really.
I mean, there's been times where I mean, obviously, like if it's someone like I'm never gonna meet again,
Well,
that's
right? Yeah, you
different.
don't want
But
to have to fucking keep that shit up.
yeah, but at the same time, like I don't want to have met this person. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like I did something really cool to this person, and like I changed their life, and they think about me for a long time. Like I don't want them to think that I was a person that I wasn't. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I've still done it before, so I'm not innocent.
I've done it like a couple, but like not to where
Canadian,
people.
bro. Or like
What?
you said, I remember you said in the Vatican, like you said you were like German or so. Like you pretended to like speak
But that
German,
was
then
just
like you,
cause some retard couldn't sell me a selfie stick. I didn't like convince them I was actually German. They just didn't know what to say to me.
oh right, but yeah, you acted like it.
Yeah, I've done that.
Like
I like
ich
doing that.
spreche nicht. Yeah.
I used to tell people I was British, but then because they were retarded and American, I could get away with it. But if I was actually talking to somebody from England, it'd be a dead giveaway.
Right.
I don't know why I in high school when I was a senior, I told a random class that I was from Texas and fucking never been there. I don't know why. I just thought it was
Man.
funny just to tell people I was like from. I would like make up stories about where I lived, and I would go on Google Maps and find like a school randomly. I tell people it's my high school, and so in case they wanted to Google, I was so fucking bored in high school.
You have it all like planned
Yeah,
out.
I
Oh,
made up a whole fucking story.
I need to use the bathroom. I'm sorry, sir.
I'm gonna sneeze into the sink and not flush it properly.
Exactly, my friend.
God, I gotta always monologue on this fucking show. It's a great thing I don't edit this because I would make Will look so bad. I'm gonna get him canceled. I'm a fucking op, bruh. This is my undercover mission to eventually get Will canceled and have his homophobic, racist nightclub erased from the map. Oh my god, these silences feel so long. Are you in the bathroom? Oh my god, he took his fucking thing into the bathroom. I heard a little bit. Do you guys hear a little bit of dribble? I heard a little bit of dribble. Oh, this is not a good look, bro. Not a good look. Oh my god. This is prime Will. This is like if you guys want to know what Will's like in real life, this is it. Just total
So
Total fuckery.
anyway,
You
so
forgot to mute your
anyway,
mic, you dumb bitch.
what do you mean? I thought like the mic is here. It doesn't pick up shit in the bathroom.
Oh, it did. I heard it.
How?
It's
That doesn't
very
make any
clear. You always
sense.
are like, how? I don't fucking know. Your room is the size of a closet. That's probably
Yeah,
why.
but my bathroom isn't in my room.
Bro. You didn't
I
even
I
mute
don't
your
know.
mic. I heard you
I
pissing,
don't
you
know.
dumb bitch.
Whatever. So anyways, I told the people in the casino in Puerto Rico that I was Colombian.
Huh?
They believed me. Um, a lot
Did
of
they actually
times,
believe you, or did they just know you're American, but just like wanted to like have you give them money because you thought you're actually like scheming them?
no, I mean if like they believed me because like if they thought I was American, like they have this thing where like they know Americans like can't speak Spanish. So like they didn't think like they wouldn't think like this guy who's speaking like this good of Spanish and talking to us about all these things like he's not American. Like they just wouldn't believe stuff like that.
Well, I think it helps that you told them that you're from a different country.
Oh yeah, no, I would never say I was like from
Yeah.
the country in which I mean, I kind of have like a Salvadoran accent. Kind of. It's yeah, I mean that's kind of more or less what I have.
Is that from
So a
your
lot of
perspective, or have people told you that?
people have told me that and also like I
Okay.
guess when I hear myself speak, it's kind of like that to me. But also like a bunch of people asked me that like when I was in the Panamanian airport, some people asked me if I was Salvadoran or like, when we were getting on the plane, the lady who sat next to me asked me if I was Salvadoran.
Yeah, I mean, you
Um
totally look like you could be from fucking South America,
yeah, that's what in the
from
youth
like
group.
Argentina or some bullshit.
No, yeah. For like the longest time in the youth group, the leader he thought I was like South American, and then when he found out like I wasn't Hispanic, he was like a
You
lot of
just
people when I tell them I'm American, they don't believe me. Like they refuse to accept it.
you just have that Rob Schneider appeal. Like you could just
Rob,
be.
oh, it's not the Rob Schneider
Yes, it
appeal.
is. He always plays some accent that's. He looks like he's from a million different places. Is he Hispanic? Is he
I
fucking
mean,
Jewish? Is he Middle Eastern? Is he Slavic? Well, he's just a bunch of different things.
like a Rob Schneider.
You've never seen any movie with Rob Schneider in it?
I don't remember what he looks like off the top of my head.
Oh, you'll remember what he looks like, as he plays every ethnicity besides black, and I'm sure he's tried and it didn't work.
Okay, yeah, I do recognize Rob Schneider.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is pretty ethnically ambiguous.
yeah, and he plays those kind of characters. That's
Also, like I think um Robert Downey Jr. is pretty ethnically ambiguous
I could kind of see that.
because I thought he was like Aborigines Australian or something like that,
Why,
but
why
he's
did you think he was fucking Aborigine?
because he kind of looks like that
Really?
a
I
little
thought those
bit.
were like
Yeah,
black
I
people.
thought no, like the guy who plays Boba Fett in like Star Wars.
That guy's Aborigine.
Yeah, he's Aborigines.
He kind of looks mixed a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he was like Aborigines or like some kind of like mixed like Pacific Islander with like just white or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Mandalorian. I was like, Pedro Pascal doesn't look like he's from fucking Australia.
Oh no, he's
No, I know.
he's Chilean. Yeah.
No, I know. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, yeah,
Um,
he does look like he could be mixed.
right, or like Keanu Reeves is pretty ethnically ambiguous.
Okay, I'm not giving you that one. He's white as fuck.
No, he's like Chinese and Hawaiian.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Really? I guess
Yeah.
he kind of looks Asian the more I think about it. I
He's
could
I
I could
thought
kind of see that.
I always knew he was like some kind of Asian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Um
about him in The Matrix, and I was just like, not really. But then I was like, when I imagine him as John Wick, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that.
yeah, like when you see him now with like his
Yeah.
like deep dark beard and like long hair,
Yeah.
he looks
Okay.
very like Japanese kind of like islander.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see. Because I've been on a string of watching old movies recently, so I watched The Matrix the other day, and I was just like, he looks like a white dude to me. But yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
The Matrix, I don't see it. I don't see it.
I like the first one, but only just because
I'm
I
just
was
not that into it. Like I don't understand why people like it so much.
I don't. I go back and forth because I think this is like why I watched it when I was younger, and it kind of freaked me out. That's why it still has my interest a little bit. But yeah, but that like post-apocalyptic, depressive kind of story that they started is not my favorite because I feel like
I I like how it's inspired by anime, but I think it would have been better if it was just like an actual anime.
I agree. I also think
Like the
like because
way,
it
like if
came
you
out
look
in
at
that
the
time is that's why it was cheesy. Like if like the
yeah,
original story of the
exactly,
Matrix
like
came out today, I feel like it'd be 10 times better.
right, and also like you said, like in the time it was made, obviously like a lot of the filmmaking is great, but a lot of it is kind of dated. So like if it
Yeah.
was an anime, it would have aged so much better.
Yeah, I think the Matrix would probably have made a better anime.
Honestly, dude, like I think Harry Potter would have made a much better TV series.
I don't know. I feel like the original movies did capture something universal.
Oh, they did, but I think like towards the end, like they could have made a TV series out of it because of all the complicated shit that happens.
Nah, man, they got spin-offs to make. Gotta grab that cash, bruh.
Yeah.
I feel like if they tried to make a show, it like after like the third season, people would stop giving a fuck. Honestly.
No, but I think like if it had a show, they could have fleshed out a bunch of stuff better, and like they could have done that like anime cliche like arc stuff. I think which like a lot of people I think would have gravitated to more.
Oh wait, I forget that it was a book at first. I feel like a show probably would have. You're right. It probably would have been better because you can get more stuff from
Yeah.
the book on the. Yeah, I forgot it was a. If it wasn't a book, then no. But yeah,
Yeah, and I think like you could have seen a lot more stuff in Hogwarts, and like there could have been so much more like subjects that you didn't see in the movies, and like a bunch of different like things that like could have been and just I think the movies are good. Don't get me wrong. I just think like it could have been something like you know on the level of like Narcos or some other great show if it
I'm
was a
just
show.
I'm just thinking about like so like if Harry Potter like let's say like it wasn't there's no movies back in the day and then she just wrote the fucking books and then Netflix picked it up let's say like pandemic to just start it as a first series. Could you imagine how dramatic that shit would be? It's like you're like you're a wizard, Harry. You're like razor screech on the wire, and he's like what, and the piano stops and shit.
Like a horror movie. Man.
Yeah, dude, it's just a bunch of sound effects and dramatic orchestral music the entire fucking.
Yeah. Ooh. I actually really liked the first movie and the second movie too, and the third movie. I really liked the first three movies.
I liked all of them honestly. I I didn't
I
really
did
have a.
too, but the first three particularly stand out to me.
I feel like if they would have kept making them, it would have the Marvel effect. Because now I can't even watch a Marvel movie. Like it was progressively like I
I mean,
liked
they
them.
did keep making them, but like those Fantastic Beast movies, I think are awful.
Yeah, they're bad.
Those are
But
terrible.
I don't really consider them like that's more of a spin-off. All this Marvel shit, I went from I like superheroes to like this is bad but it's entertaining to this is really kind of bad but I still want to watch it to where it's like I don't even care anymore. It's just awful. It's always
It's
been awful.
it's not to the point where like I never want to see a superhero movie ever again.
It's to that point for me.
I'm kind of at that point. Like the only superhero movies that I will ever watch again are like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, the Dark Knight trilogy, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. Yeah, if
I
there's
mean,
something
everything
interesting, I'll watch
else.
it, but I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Fucking
Actually,
more.
I one that I think is kind of underrated, and a lot of people shit on it, which like I don't understand why. Like it's a perfectly decent movie. Is the first Captain America? I really like the '40s World War II kind of vibe. And also like I like the character, and now he just like wants to fight for his country, and then he actually is given the opportunity, and he has the serum, and stuff.
Yeah, I did like that one too. The Captain America one was good.
Yeah, I think that one's really underrated because like a lot of people just shit on it for no reason.
Well, I think because like if you objectively look at it, it's I mean they're not good. The dialogue is awful. I think that's their biggest problem is that like the
Sure, but
dialogue is fucking horrendous in almost every Marvel movie. Even the really good ones, the dialogue is just dog shit.
oh yeah, but even like the
That's their
really
biggest
good
problem.
ones, like
Yeah.
even the quote unquote really good ones, they
Yeah.
have so much like artistic restraint, right? Because like the directors are only allowed to do so much when directing it, and the composers can only do so much because they have to fit like the producers scheme, right? So even if you get directors, sorry, like Taika Waititi, he's the guy who directed Thor Ragnarok. He's directed a bunch of other like independent movies, and he has his own like quirky kind of style. But even that, like he had to tone it down quite a bit for the movie, just because there's just they have a bunch of restrictions on that,
Yeah.
and it's annoying because they could do so much better. And like those movies are so ugly. Like the color palette is terrible. Like that
It's just
entire
oversaturated.
right, exactly. Like that entire end battle scene in Endgame is like one of the ugliest things I've ever seen on screen. Like it's just vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
oh
tantamount to
man,
like
this is bad.
dubstep, so it's like really intense, frequencies and just cool quotation mark cool sounding shit happening, but it just when you outside looking in, it just sounds like a bunch of fucking appliance noises.
Right, exactly. Like I said, the score is mostly just ostinatos. Like there's no melody, there's no recurring themes and things to be attached to. It's all just, you know, you know.
Yeah.
Which when Batman did it, it was cool. Batman was like the first movie to do that, but they actually blended it well with different melodies and themes. Which I think like the Batman soundtrack is great.
Well, Batman had a lot of more jazzy stuff, didn't it?
Jazz.
Didn't it? Am I?
I mean, it had like brass instruments, like with the and
What's the thing?
that
So
kind of
like
stuff. But
most superhero movies are more like just dramatic and theatrical and just have your standard like movie orchestra. But I feel like Batman, like theirs was more jazz oriented, especially the theme song.
oh no, not well. Which Batman are we talking about?
Like I guess like the original ones, not
No,
like the edgy
I'm
ones.
talking about the edgy ones, like the Dark Knight, because
Oh,
they started all those trends, but they actually like did it well.
I guess I don't remember. I remember the razor wire and all like the eerie sounds that they use to build tension, but I don't really remember the rest of like the actual theatrical shit.
The actual soundtrack for those movies is really good. Like the way they blend themes with like the orchestral epic ostinato stuff. It's really well done.
I'll have to go back and watch it because I'm blanking.
I would love to do that. Batman Begins is like one of my favorite movies.
That is really good. I do like the original Batman stuff.
I like it better than The Dark Knight even. Batman
You like?
Begins is so good. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
I
Sorry,
think my
I
mic
think
cut out for a second.
it did, yeah. So what did you say?
I think it's wild that you think the Batman Begins is better than the Dark Knight. That's like everyone's favorite movie.
I don't necessarily say it's better. I like it more.
Let's see.
I think your mic cut out again.
God damn it. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do like Batman. I mean, obviously that was the first one, and we've talked. I think we talked about Batman a couple times. So
Yeah, I think so.
open those can of worms. But I'm curious to see because the last one was really good. So hopefully they continue that trend and make the next one actually good too, as opposed because DC makes awful movies. But if they do what they did in the last one, they could probably have a more successful franchise. Now that Marvel is retarded.
Or movies are like laughably bad though.
Yeah, it's awful.
Movies are like, what are you doing? Like Aquaman, that was hilarious. I loved that movie because of like how bad it was.
I did not enjoy it any of them
You
really.
didn't like Aquaman? Aquaman was
Well,
hilarious.
remember because like we talked about liking the colors and all the visually, but the actual acting and the story was retarded.
Or the actual acting and story was retarded. But like, I actually like in that movie, I liked the cheese. I liked just like the generic villain, and then like he's like on this quest that's like so generic, and then there's like crab monsters fighting each. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, no, visually out because like they did the opposite. Like they made their colors actually like enticing, not just like oh it's too fucking saturated.
It wasn't just like bluish, like teal. You know,
Yeah,
like I hate that like blue teal kind of. Ugh, it's so gross. That was in like Man of Steel and Batman for. Ugh, I think that's such an ugly color palette.
yeah. Um, artists do better on your already time constraint, fucking long hours and shit pay.
Yeah.
um, but fuck,
Is that
man.
like that whole thing about like the anime people getting shit on? That's true, right?
Oh, I'm sure any art form like musician, artists, anything that actually does the creating has always been stifled or undervalued, underpaid, or overworked and overstressed, or just straight up stolen. Like, I can't even begin to attempt to go into the amount of time that artists have called out larger conglomerates for just totally stealing their shit and not getting compensated for it.
Man.
God, you are dying.
I really am. Well, no, it's just because I'm laughing so much,
No, I
and it's hard to laugh,
know.
man.
It's so hard.
Oh, I'm giving it to you.
But
Yeah.
no, yeah. I mean, the newest shit now. Have you seen all that stuff with the AI art that people are complaining about?
No, what is that?
It's like some algorithm where you pay like $3, or some of them are free, and you can like send in your picture, and it makes like a digitally recreated art. They look pretty cool, and people were mad that it like it's like stealing their artwork or stealing their ideas or just stealing their customers. Like, why would you pay me $100 to, draw you or animate your shit, where I just pay $3 for an algorithm to do it in like a couple seconds or however fucking long it takes.
Yeah, Sardonicus was joking about how we're gonna get to be at the point where there's like algorithm generated movies. Like the script is just like it's determined by an algorithm, and then like the color palette, the direction,
Yeah.
the music, like everything is just gonna be like the algorithm.
I would love to see it, man. We would witness horrors beyond our comprehension. It's like those the scripts where it's like, I forced the bot to watch 100 hours or whatever bullshit, so it like makes this retarded script of nonsense. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I know the band Meshuggah, they did like a AI generated music video. That was pretty cool. There was a lot of optical illusions and geometric shit, just like pulsing and moving into one another, and just it fit their vibe. So I don't know. I'm sure it would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Did I hear what?
My ringtone is this wet fart, and my phone was
Oh.
on.
No, I did not hear that.
Well, cool. Never mind then.
I like forgot because like my phone's always on silent, so it always vibrates. So I never thought to give it a ringtone.
You should. It's fucking fun. I do. I put
Is it?
retarded. I put retarded as ringtones in my phone. And I forget that I do it because I very ever rarely have my phone on sound. I always have it on vibrate. And for the longest time, it was the Pornhub drum intro. And so every time, like, I'd be in public, and very few times, it would go off, and people would look at me. I'm like, oh fuck. It makes my heart skip. Like, oh shit! Like, it's about to play a video, but then it's not.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love ringtones. They're fun. I like customizing. I'm a customized guy. Except for my car. My car, you'll never know who I am as a person if you look at my car.
If you look at my car, who do you get as me as like a person?
You have the fucking Brazilian flag hanging in your window.
Well, I mean, what about the actual
In your
car?
Toyota Corolla. That's silver
It's
and
like
old looking.
It's a Toyota Camry.
I thought it was a Corolla. It's a Camry.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a Camry. Yeah.
Like, God, you're having me cough now. What the fuck? Through the
Oh, I'm
mic.
dying. I'm like, it's a Camry. So yes, it's a Camry.
The same car, just longer ass.
Right. Yeah. So what do you get from me as a guy who owns a silver 2013 Toyota Camry with a Brazilian flag and a rosary hanging from it?
Either abuelita or running from the cops.
Or
I'm sorry, not running from the cops. Have to go to court for a weed case. Be like, fuck, bro, I got a case going on. I can't do nothing. Bro, they
Except
gotta
they
wake
would-
up in the morning, bro.
Oh, I come across as that guy?
Yes.
Nah, what? I don't want to be that guy.
You're in a Camry with a Brazilian flag. What the fuck?
Hands.
All you're missing is the little kid with a fucking backwards hat and a soccer ball. That you're missing that fucking sticker, and then it'd be complete.
Sticker. Wait, what?
You know what I'm talking about? The sticker of like that little boy in a backwards hat, and he has a soccer ball, and it has like every different flag on it. So he can have like a
Oh,
Mexican one, a Salvadorian
no, I
one. You ever
don't.
seen that? You've
I
never
don't
seen
think I
that
know
sticker?
this.
Oh my
No, I thought you were talking about like a kid in like the back of my car. Like I had a kid.
god. Yeah, you also have children in the back of your car too, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying there's a sticker of a kid with a hat and a ball.
No, I've never heard of that.
It's the next piece of your puzzle to complete you.
Okay. No, I need to get Jesus bumper stickers.
Man, I wouldn't put anything fucking political on your car.
Jesus is not political.
Jesus is highly political these days, my friend.
Yeah, well, if it's on a Hispanic car, it's completely different. You know what I mean?
That is true. If you have, like, in the rare case, some fucking pink-haired bitch about to firebomb your car, if she sees the Brazilian flag, like, oop, not this one.
Yeah, exactly. Like if she sees some Jesus thing and it has, but then she thinks I'm like Hispanic or like it's not like quote unquote white. Yeah, she's gonna be like, oh, yep,
Yeah.
can't do that.
The funniest ones that I can't help but laugh at are the people that have the Blue Lives Matter flag stickers on their car, and people go in and like they'll take like rainbow markers and fill in the rest of the flag.
The what the like the police flag.
Yeah, the Blue Lives flag. They'll just color all the rest
That's
of the colors on there. It's so
that's
fucking funny.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Dude, I would
Um,
do that to somebody's car, not even to make a political statement, just because it'd be just fucking funny to see them freak out.
I wouldn't do that. Well, I mean,
Oh, dude.
I'm not recommending this, but I was just saying me personally, I would not do that.
I'm here for it, man. I want to see the world burn.
Well, yeah, I don't want to fuck up anyone's car. Even though I saw this car right in front of me a couple days ago. Oh, sorry. It said like racism equals small dick energy, or like,
Ah, it's so
uh,
cringy.
or like I saw one of them. It literally said like I love dick. I'm like, okay, like, really? Like, can you just not put that there?
All you're doing is giving me ideas of bumper stickers to put on your car. I know where it parks.
Ah, shit.
Dude, what I find really interesting when you bring up that like racism equals small dick, it's very amusing to me how you take the most hated group of people in the world, like Nazis, and anytime some skinny like fucking Antifa bitches like punch your local Nazi, I want to become a Nazi like immediately.
I mean, they don't even realize that they literally are simultaneously being Nazis.
Which is yeah, the irony is twice as fun, but it's just
It's
like
hilarious.
they turn people into fucking racists. Like they make you more like I've never seen like the cringiest, most unenlightened just garbage coming from the most ugliest looking people in the planet just say this nonsense, and it's like everything they're against I just want to automatically do. And the same thing
Right,
with like
I
same
mean,
people that are like
sorry.
ultra like conservative, it's the same shit. I just want to be fucking gay. I just want to piss people off is
I
my
mean,
point. I
I'd
want to be a
rather
gay
hang
Nazi. Wouldn't that be fun?
right. I mean, I'll put it this way: I'd rather hang out with someone who's ultra conservative rather than someone who's like ultra super duper liberal.
It depends on how old they are. If they were like your age, yeah. But if they were like my parents' age, oh, it just fucking gets under my nerves. I'd rather talk to an old liberal and a young conservative, and I think that's where my line goes.
No, but like when I'm saying old, like liberal and conservative, I mean like the extreme, like, ultra super duper ultra MAGA versus like super duper like Satanist, 12 abortion, pink hair, like super ugly feminist woman. I would
Yeah,
rather hang out with the ultra MAGA wearing like beer drinking hat wearing guy.
yeah. It depends. I go back and forth because I fucking oh god, those people are like the two those two extremes are really just gonna get under my fucking skin. On a different day, one or the other would be more annoying to me. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. Honestly,
Right.
whatever way the wind blows is the whatever direction it blows me in, because they
Right.
just fucking irritate me so much.
But I think a lot of those like you said, those skinny, like ugly, like white bitches who are like oh sorry, that are like so anti like Nazi. Oh, sorry. Like a lot of them are just like overcompensating for the fact that they're ugly.
Probably.
Like I really think that that's the situation.
It's like if you're ugly, own it. Don't be insecure about it.
Right, I know, but I mean, like a lot of people that are ugly, especially like dudes, they could look so much better if they just like, oh, sorry, if they just like lost weight and just like started lifting weights and like eating, good food and like picked up hobbies, like any man can look nice.
Yeah, it's how you present yourself. I can't imagine how worse I'd look if I didn't give a fuck.
Oh,
I,
you've seen me when I didn't give a fuck. I looked awful.
oh my god.
I was skinny. I had an afro. I wore shorts in public. Ugh.
I used to wear shirts that didn't fit me because I thought it was cool, and I just always looked like a big fucking dumbass.
I used to do that too. Well, partially because I gained so much weight in a year. Like I didn't feel like buying new clothes. So like all my clothes just like didn't fit me.
They're all tight.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I hate it. Yes, they were. They were very tight.
If anybody needs a windscreen, it's you. Um,
Oh what?
windscreen, pop filter, foam gateway, or foam shield
For what?
for your plosives, your
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um yeah, I used because like I was fatter when I was younger, and so I wear like baggy
I
clothes.
would like to see fat Jason. That would be
I
hilarious. I'll
wasn't
show you.
I wasn't like fat. I was just like a little pudgy elf. I look like a little pudgy elf, but I wasn't
Yeah,
like
same
fat.
with
If that
me.
makes
Yeah, I'll show you pudgy elf, baby faced Will.
you know exactly what I look like. You ever see the intro to Borat? That little kid that's like walking next to the car. Like I legitimately look like that when I was younger.
I think so, maybe.
Dude, I need to do a DNA test. I have to have some Eastern European. Like I have that like big long nose kind of droopy look. Something. I swear I have some Slavic in me or something.
Oh yeah, you're probably like on the other side of the Eastern Curtain.
Yeah, I
Or like
did find out
sorry, the
today.
the Iron Curtain of like communism.
Hooray! I did find out that I'm more Apache than I thought I was.
Ah yes, you told me that. How Apache are you?
So I'm a quarter Mexican, right? But I didn't. So like there, I know like there was some bullshit like Elizabeth Warren percentage of that might have been a Apache. But I was visiting my grandmother the other week, and she was telling me how her grandfather, so my great no her great grandfather, so my great or half like I'm so bad at lineage, whatever that is,
Whatever. Yeah.
was a shaman in the Southwest and was full blown Apache, and then down the line, the Spanish part of my family was Castilian, so it wasn't like Spanish mixing with Mexicans. It was like Spanish mixing with Indians. So it's like legitimate like Mexican patient zero is what my grandmother was, or I guess her father or mother. I can't remember
Yeah.
whose side it was on. So I don't know what that breaks
Oh,
down to in percentage. So if I'm a quarter Mexican and that's my great grandfather, whatever that is, and I'm bad at percentages too. So whatever a little bit less than 25 is, but more than a well, no, it's all gonna be a fraction at that point. I don't fucking know. Point is, it's more than like a smidgen than what I thought. I actually have like ties to it, which is cool.
nice.
I just did
Um,
that really poorly, but I think people that understand
I
that will get the point.
oh yeah, I understood it.
Um, but yeah, I also have more Castilian than I realized too. I thought most of it was Mexican, but
Yeah, because I asked you, I was like, "Are you like?" Sorry, I was like, "Are you indigenous Mexican or like Spanish Mexican?" And you said you were like pretty sure you were indigenous Mexican.
no, I guess I misheard what you meant. Yeah, no. So I didn't know I had that much Castilian in me, so I just assumed it was more indigenous Mexican for that reason. Like I didn't know like I had actual family come from Spain. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
semi recently.
yeah, like you weren't like just descended from people like Spanish people that were already living in Mexico for like a billion generations.
Exactly. So it's like part of it was Indian, and part of it was actually Castilian. So like not like they're not mestizos already. Or is that a slur? I can't. Is mestizo a
No, I
slur?
mean, no, I don't think it's a slur, but I mean, I wouldn't say that to like a Hispanic person.
Because they take it as a slur.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, not really. It's just kind of like the term is just kind of outdated, I guess, is just really how it is.
I'm not saying Latinx, so I'll just say mixed.
Or you could just say Hispanic, because like, sorry, like most people when they think Hispanic, like that's what they mean is like mestizo, and like it's like
It's because
mestizo is just like it's synonymous with Hispanic at this point.
we're dumb Americans. We don't realize is like there's more Indian or European mixed in than some of those Hispanics.
It's all Mexico's.
We're all Asian if you go back far enough.
I thought we were all African,
Well, that's even
but
farther.
oh yeah, right.
um,
Oh man.
but yeah, so I thought that was a cool tidbit. So I I can now start to be annoying and wear bracelets.
Like if you actually like wore some like ancient like Native American outfit and you wore some like feather hat thingy, that would be hilarious.
Oh man, I think the arrogance of like finding out that you're not even half, because like I feel like if you're 75%, or I'm sorry, at least if you're half of something, like you'd have more of a leg to stand on. You're split down the middle of two cultures, but like if you have
Even
a
if you're a quarter, I
fraction,
think.
well, no, a quarter is one thing. I also depends on where you live. Like nobody in this country that looks like fucking me could give a shit about where they're from. Even if I was like 75% native, like who gives a fuck? Although I probably would look different if I was 75% native. So maybe I
Oh,
might
and you would
be,
probably yeah, definitely.
but like less than a quarter, like you should not give a shit. And don't practice like it's your tribe, especially if you didn't grow up on a reservation. Like shut the fuck up.
I'm less than 25% Jewish, even though I look like I'm 100% Jewish, but
You act 100% Jewish.
I know exactly. Like I got all of the DNA to be Jewish,
Yeah.
but I'm not Jewish. It's quite a I don't know. Oh man, I hate this so much. This is killing me. Like
Yeah, Ricola.
I can't speak.
But I wish I would have known. I wish I still had family members that were shamans. That'd be cool as fuck to like
What
just
what's a
sit down.
shaman?
It's like a spiritual leader of some kind of tribe. They possess like visions, or they are the ones that tells people the stories of their origin, or they are
Oh,
in
they're
tune with
like
the spirits or gods, and they can have some sort of psychic and like supernatural powers, or they can, like the shamans of the Amazon. They're your spiritual guide. They make you drink ayahuasca and you go on a DMT trip and shit.
they're like more or less the prophets of like Native American culture.
Pretty much, yeah. They were the spiritual leaders of whatever animalistic religion that you were trying to follow.
That's kind of cool.
But
No.
but yeah, that'd be cool as fuck. Because I have like people in
Yeah.
my family that I know that like look straight up Mexican, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
On my grandmother's mother's side, I think.
Oh yeah, like my uncle, like we when we went to Lakewood, New Jersey, and we were eating in the restaurant, there was this guy waiting in his car outside, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys see that guy in his car who like looks exactly like Uncle Kale?" And they were like, "Yeah." Like, this is ruining my podcast. God damn it. Um,
Gotta edit out all your coughs,
that's taken way too long. I'm not doing that.
or do a
So anyway,
compilation of all the coughs.
ugh, that'd be funnier actually. So he looked exactly like her uncle. He just was had like his palace, like his dangly hair things, and a yarmulke. Like other than that, he looked like literally the exact same person.
Well, I mean, it is a style. Like I could fucking do that and look the part.
Oh, but still though,
I might have
like
some Jewish in me. I don't know.
yeah, but there's like certain looks where you're like, that's Jewish, like totally.
Yeah.
Like there's just like that Jewish look,
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh,
where it's
trust me,
like
I'm very well aware.
right, and obviously like there's multiple different ones, but like my uncle, like if you saw him, like he has one of them definitely. He looks like Hasidim,
He looks what?
like the Hasidic Jews.
Oh, I think I didn't know what you said. I think you had an aneurysm.
Hasidim means like it's the plural of like the Hasidic Jews, like Hasidim.
Okay. It sounded weird, but anyway, um, yeah, fucking ethnicities.
What I
Who needs
am,
them?
I don't know. That's an interesting
You're
question.
feeling ethnic, bro. It's not a good look.
Feeling ethnic, not a good look. Feeling ethnic is cool. I love ethnic music.
I do. I'm more worldly than what it sounds like. More of my cynicism is on here, but I do enjoy and celebrate different types of people and different things and
Yeah,
people that don't think like I do.
yeah, screw this pop and rock and non-ethnocentric music. I want to listen to ethnocentric music. Ethnocentric music is cooler, man. I'm sorry, it just is.
Just because you're not used to it, that's why it's cooler.
Exactly.
It's mist. It's exotic.
But even so, like banjo music from the South, like that's ethnocentric music.
If you ever go to Peru, you're gonna buy a pan flute and bring it back.
This South Park with the Peruvian flute bands.
It's gonna be you, bro. You're
It's
me and
like
Dulles. You're me and Dulles in a poncho, just fucking blowing away.
it's, it's like there is a Peruvian flute band every square mile. Oh, I can't laugh that hard, or else I'm gonna die.
Sounds like you're vomiting.
Um, uh, yeah, that was half real, half not real.
It was perfect
Um,
timing, whatever it was.
yeah. So what I am ancestrally is like Haredi
Ancestrally.
Jewish. Well, right. So it's Ashkenazi, but it's like Haredi, which is like what Ben Shapiro is, meaning like you're conservative and like you're Orthodox, but you're not. You're not. You're part of Chabad, which is a sect of Orthodox Judaism, which is it's different than the Hasidic Jews.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna forget all that after you say
After what?
after after you say it and like a couple seconds go by. I already forgot the words you just said. I don't know why for
Yeah,
some
no.
reason like it takes like a couple listens for me to recognize a foreign sounding word if it doesn't like
Um,
automatically strike a chord with me.
you've never heard of Chabad?
No. It sounds
Like
like a food.
Chabad, Chabad.
No.
You've never heard of Haredi?
It, it's like haram spaghetti. I don't know.
Ah, you don't know your Jewish terms.
I don't know Jew shit.
I have to educate you in my culture. Oh, you're so uncultured.
Please don't. I'd rather kill myself if you don't mind.
I wasn't really gonna do it anyways.
Thank God. Praise Jesus. Um,
Yeah. But it's essentially because like Judaism is on a spectrum of like how observant you are. Because like on one end you
what does
have
that mean?
so it essentially means so like it's on a spectrum of how observant and like actually adherent to the religion you are and how much you care, right? So on one spectrum you have like on one side of the spectrum you have like the complete like atheist, disgusting, gross, like alien lizard people Jews like Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, like the list goes on. That's like on one side of the spectrum. And then you
Uh,
have on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, like the Hasidim, like the top hat wearing, super long bearded, palace, like dangly hair thingin', like like all those people that like they don't like they follow every single Sabbath law. Like they don't use electricity. They like the level of like laws that they follow by our standards, it would literally be like torture. Ugh, sorry. By our standards, I must say.
yeah. Do you think you could survive in that kind of environment?
I could definitely survive. I could survive in Chabad because my that's what my brother has been to and my sister. And I would and based on like my experience with Orthodox Catholicism, I could definitely survive the Haredi Chabad, but I probably could not survive Hasidim. Like I would never want to be like in with the Hasidic Jews. I just feel like that's just like that's not me.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be all right until the second they said I couldn't do something. I'm like, all right, I'm out. Peace. It's been fun. It's been a
Well,
fun
I
couple
mean,
hours.
you go to Reform Judaism. Ugh, sorry, I can't speak.
Reform Judaism.
yeah, they're a lot more laxed about like the oh god. So like the Orthodox Jews, you can't use electricity on the Sabbath, so you can't ride a car to go to Shabbos, like to synagogue, right? So you have to walk. So that's why they all live close to one another and close to a synagogue.
Right. I do see them a lot of them walking, especially when I went to Brooklyn and Long Island.
Yeah, if it's Saturday, you'll see them walking.
It's so funny that people mistake them for being Amish.
Right, or like it'll literally be like Orthodox like Eastern European Christians, like they think they're Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the sect of the nuns that wear the white bonnet thing or whatever, the white shawl veil shit. I don't know what it's called.
Right, or like and like they think they're Muslim or something.
Yeah, dude. It's so
Yeah.
fucking funny. Dude,
Also, like I
I
don't understand. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I don't understand why the Pope wears a hat that looks exactly like the yarmulke.
I
You
don't
haven't
know.
seen that, right? Like
I,
it looks exactly like the yarmulke.
it looks to me more like the hat with the propeller on it, except it has a nipple.
Stop making me laugh.
Dude, going back to
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
dude.
Going back to the fucking, I was at the DC Zoo, and I swear to God, so like there was this group of, I guess, nuns or whatever the fuck, but they were dressed in like the blue gowns and they had that white bonnet
Yeah.
shawl thing or whatever. And there's this dude in like a trucker hat, and he was like, he was looking at them strangely because he's never seen them before, and like you said, he probably assumed they were Muslim, and I could just tell he's just like, man, why are these people here? They can't appreciate this.
Yeah, right. Or like,
We're
oh,
looking
I
at all
gotta
these
call
monuments.
security. You know?
They call it the threat of security.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like the fucking
Right, but
Sikhs.
that's exactly why. Like, I stand by my opinion that like I don't like the term white people because it's like average Joe beer drinking bear like baseball cap wearing Americans aren't gonna like go to Russia and be like my people. Like they're gonna be like, oh, what is this like quasi Eastern like you know freezing cold hellhole like the way they practice like Christianity, like what is this, like this is weird, like
It's like, what do you mean I gotta walk up 12 flight of stairs to take a brown water shower?
yeah, exactly, like they'd go to like an Orthodox Christian service and they'd be like, ew, this is like Catholicism, ugh. But like it's like Catholicism but more reverent and more superstitious.
Where's the cherry tomato salad in a styrofoam bowl?
Yeah.
Fucking hate those
All right.
bullshit salads and those dry ass rolls. Oh my god.
Ugh, man, I'm gonna have to call it here. I'm sorry. I'm doing awful.
You're about to implode, my bro.
I will. I literally can't. I think it's just because I'm raising my voice too high. I'm sorry, just because like my ears are kind of clogged, so I'm speaking really loud.
Just turn
Because
down
I
your
can't.
volume.
I could do that too, but then I won't hear you.
Go drink some nice Theraflu or Benadryl or whatever the fuck people that kill their kill their kidneys are doing these days.
All right, I guess I could do that. Well, this was a fun episode, everybody. Good night. I appreciate
It
listening.
was quirky. I like it.
I just apologize for anyone listening to this because like every 5 seconds I was coughing and I couldn't even like my points were delivered so abruptly and like not necessarily in the way I wanted to. So I'm sorry.
I won. Yeah.
He won.
Yeah. Feel better,
All right.
bro. Hugs and kisses. Ma, 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 ma.
Thank you, bro. Good night. Bye.